What's up, guys? It's Will here back again for another episode of Collectors Mingle. We got a fun show for you guys tonight. An amazing panel. As always, a handsome panel ready to mingle. Not always single, but they're here anyway, baby. We're going to talk about Peacemaker from Hot Toys. We're going to talk about the JND Mera. We're going to talk about the Blitzway Ecto-1, of course. This Sauron Pure Arts mask. Maybe some other stuff from So Toys. Maybe some other things mixed in there as well. I'm teasing a little bit too much. I don't want to give too much away, but just stay tuned. It's right around the corner, I promise. What is up, everybody? Look at this amazing panel. Oh my God. I don't know how I assembled this much talent in one place. And I don't even have Lael here yet. So you guys are just here to make me look good, man. I'm just here to ride your coattails. That's all it is. So just ride off your guys' greatness. So I'll start going through the panel here, and then we'll adjust the chat. But Aries, the Hot Toys Wizard himself, or supposedly the Hot Toys Wizard, it's remained to be seen. I don't know. It's allegedly.
Allegedly.
But Aries, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. And Will, is it possible you got to give yourself more credit? I think I'm riding your coattails tonight, baby. Such an honor to be here. Come on.
No, well, I appreciate it, Aries, but you guys are the true talent here. I'm just, I'm here, like I said, Jimmy Fallon of collecting. All I got to do is just, make everyone laugh and, moderate the panel, and that's kind of my gig. But Kiko, I love your display, man. I know you said it's still work in progress. First off, I love that you're becoming a statue, man, so I'm very proud right now. And, you're going to look into the camera some, I can hear, so.
This is correct, Will. And once again, it's fantastic being here on the WillFoxification show. And I've even got my setup a little bit like yours. So I can go ahead and look right into the camera because I think that's what our audience want. They want to see our smiling faces. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. And if you can't tell, I am redoing the collection room. It's not really actually redoing that room. I ran out of room. And so I was able to convince the missus to allow the expansion. And so this is phase one of the expansion, as you can see, because as I said, man, I've kind of gotten into this dark hole of statues and shit. And that could be a very bad situation for me. So, and I know we're going to be talking about it a little later on, but there's some big pieces in the pipeline, Will, and that's what some of this is for, is to allow these big pieces to be properly displayed. But let's get to it today, man. Thanks for having me.
Dude, is that Revan a possibility for you?
I can't give away anything. Stay tuned, my friend.
Okay, yeah, because I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I'm just excited. I'm antsy. It's like seeing the new Batman. I want to know what statues Kiko's going to get. So, but Anthony, 6-Scale Mafia, man, how you doing tonight?
Working
hard. How's your stomach, man? Are you feeling better?
Yeah, stomach's feeling a little bit better, man. I ate some bad food, but otherwise I'm all right. I'm just working and here with you, and as always, everybody here on this amazing panel tonight, man. It's fun, man. Thank you for having me,
dude. Of course, man. Thank you for joining. And neither of us are sleeveless though, so
not today. I'm rocking the '80s Darth Maul.
Dude, that's a badass shirt though.
I need one.
I gotta step up my shirt game.
Yeah, I gotta say that's probably one of the sickest Darth Maul / Star Wars shirts that I've ever seen. So well played. Hit me up with a link for that.
It has the whole Cyberpunk's vibe.
I know, bro. He's fucking
I love all this. I got a lot of shirts like this, man. That's my jam.
Nice.
Hey, my lights are not right.
They look good.
But
and it's funny that you're not feeling well, Anthony. This didn't happen after last night's stream, did it? Because now I feel bad again. Goodness gracious.
I would like to know, because I don't know what happened with that wizard coming at me.
It's ironic.
Don't you think?
I had a concussion from mine, so so it's probable.
I don't know. It must be the grayness in the beard that just keeps him away from wanting to take on my likeness. I don't know. Maybe because I'm wearing the evil empire. Who knows? Something that I'm doing correctly.
Yeah, it is. But Loco Lou, first time on the channel, man. Happy to have you here. That cut is fresh, man. I gotta say, I saw it. I think you posted it on Facebook or Instagram.
I didn't see it that it had a back part to it there.
I know, right? It's party in the back, bro.
Yeah, man. I gotta bring back some styles, man. Thank you for having me first and foremost. Been a quite a bit of a fan in the sidelines watching, collectors mingle, and it's great to be around collectors and mingling like we always do.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Lou, I don't know what I'm going to do being on 2 shows in a row with you, baby. It's too crazy.
Oh, listen. Don't you remember what happened on your show, man? The Hot Toys Wizard gave me a little tingle, bro. Like it just came out of nowhere. And then 6 Scale was like, "Oh no, I got something for you." I'm like, "Oh, damn,
Listen, if we're all going to start talking in the third person, Will, you might have to break out the applause, some other sound effects. I don't know what
Oh, I'll have them ready, Aries.
the millions and millions of collectibles."
I gotta expand the soundboard. Like it has, I can play I think 8 right now, but I know I can do more. I'm just not sure how to do it. So I got to figure out the way. I got to get something for Lou, like a wrestling background music.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to get like the JR Jim Ross commentary,
right?
Like, by God and shit like that. It's fantastic.
That man had a family.
I need
Somebody stop the damn match.
I need Michael Buffer to introduce me like if it's WrestleMania, baby.
Right. That's what we need. But guys,
it is WrestleMania
so
season.
I know, right? Thanks so much for joining us. And Lael should be here soon. I know he's coming in. People are still joining the stream. But let's address the chat real quick before we jump into our first topic. Mr. Third Party Reviews, the legend himself, Joao. Dude, that guy is... He seriously does some amazing reviews, and he does live streams down. They're awesome. So Joao he's such a nice guy, even better guy than he is anything. Such a nice guy. 6 Scale Padawan, what is up, 6 Scale Padawan? Fat Bad Man, love that username by the way. Josh McCoy said, "How's it going?" $5 says Will isn't going to be wearing sleeves. It looks like you lost $5 because I am wearing sleeves. So unless I rip them off sometime during the show, which is also possible. Tukathi, what's up, gentlemen? Tukathi, how's it going, man? Comics, swag, Renz Talentino. What's up, Renz, the artist himself? If you guys haven't checked it out, I always recommend Renz's art. Renz's art is extremely good, and I highly recommend you check him out. KJ Smith, sup? Paul Ha, Blurred Dad Life. Some of these usernames, man. Miles Morales, Jan Michael Jameer, Aloha, Primetime Reviews. Let's see. AJ in the house. Collector Chris said, "Nice to see Will back in sleeves." It's temporary. It's not a long-term solution. Beskar Kid gave Lou the compliment. Loco Lou's hair is on point. It is on point.
Thank you.
I don't know how anyone can top it at this point, but we probably just won't even try.
Well, you got guns, baby. That's why.
Yeah, but they're hidden right now. They're concealed. They're holstered. So I got a permit, but
you got the right shirt. You got the right shirt.
Yeah, I'll get a shirt and you just need to like rip the sleeves off some point. Go full WrestleMania. Collector Chris, I'll take the wizard in center square. Nice. We got him. He's right there in center square. Doug Collector Chris said, "It's pandemonium." Indeed. Indeed. Rome Moreno, what's up? Rome Moreno. Angel in the house, what's up? Anthony, your vape fumes stick on your collectibles.
No.
It doesn't?
All good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony's a
Good
pro.
question.
Joao.
Good
Yeah,
question.
that's a good question. Boxed and thanks for joining Boxed and let's see. Absolute Irwin. Sub panel looks sweet. Yes. Oh, a super chat. Josh McCoy said a bet is bet. Josh, you're 1 cent short, bro. You're 1 cent short. You said $5. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you, Josh. Thanks so much for the super chat. Guys, we are going to jump into the first topic here because this is a figure, honestly, that took the community by storm and not exactly in the way that you would hope. It's kind of one of those figures that drops and everyone freaks out and just like starts, if they had hair, they would pull it out, kind of like me. But this Peacemaker, guys, I won't kind of sway the panel, so I'm going to leave my thoughts out of this, but I want to start with you, Aries. I know, Aries, you have not seen the show, right?
No, I have not.
Okay, but you know John Cena.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so
You can't see me right now.
What do you think about this figure, Aries? Without seeing the show, just looking at it face value, what do you think?
Do I have to be honest with this, which I'm going to be anyway?
Yes.
I saw it and I was kind of like, okay, I didn't really know. I don't know anything about it, to be quite honest with you. And I saw it and I was looking at it and I said, is it possible that this is something that I would never consider getting? And I say, yes, for me personally. Now, I don't know really what to make of it. I think that, what's the best way to put it? One man's junk is another man's treasure. This is a truism. And you have to remember, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. That being said, I have not seen the show. So it's real interesting that you're going to be, or wherever that this has come out of. But I just don't feel it with this, honestly. I don't like the expression. I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, I'm sure somebody likes it out there, and you absolutely have the Dark Jedi's blessing to go ahead and pre-order it, get it, spill your coffee over it. I'm not feeling it, baby.
Yeah, I'm with you, Aries. I'm with you. But Kiko, I'm gonna hop to you on this one. What do you think about this Peacemaker figure, man? Like, I don't know if you watch the show, but I want to hear your thoughts on this.
So let's rewind back to The Suicide Squad when it first came out. And, James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoyed that film. I really did. I thought it was fun. You kind of got to see the real Harley Quinn as people wanted to see her, Idris Elba. That was a good film. It really was. And then King Shark is announced. And so we thought we'd be getting stuff from the Suicide Squad. And then nothing ever happened. And then you get this figure, and I'm pretty damn convinced, and I think a lot of people have already talked about this, in different opinion polls and things like that, that this is probably just a prototype that they had laying around from that movie, because it's essentially the same figure. But here's the thing about it is I don't like it. I'm not going to get it. But here's my two things I say a lot. You have to vote for your wallet. You have to vote with your wallet. I've said that a million times before. If you want these type of characters, you have to pony up and get them. I understand that it's not the best thing, but it's I think someone said it in the chat. It's a subpar character. And so that's what it is. This is not like an Iron Man. It's not an iconic character. So you're gonna have a parody type figure. That's what this is, in my opinion. And going back to Harley Quinn, one of my favorite figures in my collection is Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, and she's got this type of face and the removable tongue and things like that. I don't think this is a great figure, but I think that it's getting an unfair amount of hate simply because I think people were expecting something different. But I don't know what else you would be expecting. I know that there's this weird thing to where they can't sell guns or something like that with Warner Brother figures or something along those lines. I don't have an issue with that. I don't know. This is something that I think that if you want DC figures, you're going to have to buy DC figures. And I know that people want to hold them to a higher standard and you should be getting the most for your money. I agree with that. But you can't say, well, they don't ever show any DC love, because people shit all over them whenever the DC stuff comes out. There's always something wrong with a DC figure. So that's my 2 cents. I'm happy that there's something other than just a stoic face. I like the facial expression. To me, that's the only thing that I like about this.
Hey, I'm real quick, Will.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned in the chat, or maybe a couple of people here, and it's true, we just coming in and not really, knowing this character or understanding it. I do agree. The elbow joints were an eyesore to me. And I get that we have them on certain figures and stuff like that, but with the way that you're going to use it like this, with this really aggressive, obviously aggressive character, and how crazy this looks and whatnot, and come on. I don't know, man. I almost feel like you got to do something about that. That looks too, and I don't know what the price of this is, but that almost looks too.
About
I don't know.
$280.
It's too. I don't like it with the. I don't know. The arm joint is too pronounced, and I know we see them from time to time too, but it really bothers me.
Yeah. I think
it's a double-edged sword, because people complain whenever there is the rubberized seamless arms, and then they give you these jointed elbows, and people don't like that either. And people always say, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. No one hates Hot Toys more than Hot Toys collectors. I feel like there's always something wrong with it. There's always something to critique. I understand it's a price point, and I think someone said in the chat, mediocrity doesn't enter my collection. I get that, but at the same time, what were we going to expect here? I think someone else said swappable seamless arms, like there, Doc Smizzle. Yeah, that's cool. But then you'd have people saying, well, it degrades. You got to put joints in it. Someone's always going to bitch about something.
That's also true. I think all that is true. But I think, even if you raise the price a little bit and you get the swappable arms, I think people will be on board with that. Maybe you give it like Game Toys did with Cloud. That's always my example. Or Infinity War Thor, right? You got the armor arms, and you also get the seamless arms too. So I think that would be cool. I mean, raise the price by $15 or something, I think that's worth it. Because then if you want to put him in a crazy, funky action pose with his tongue out, then you can do that, right? But yeah, I don't know. But I get what you're saying, Kiko, for sure. It makes sense. But Lou, what do you think about this Peacemaker, man?
Man, they've been talking about this figure for the whole entire week. And
yeah,
it's a double-edged sword, like Kiko said earlier, I'm glad we got the facial expression with the removable tongue, but there's misses with this figure that could have put this at a different scale. Because how can I place this? This is like, it's missing certain things, like the seamless arms we should have got with this figure, or even bigger arms, and arms that doesn't look like he has a big ball, like a Reveltech joint. For those who are familiar with Reveltech, like it has a big ball at the opposite end of his elbow, and it's very unsightly. But the suit though, the tailoring on the suit, that is beautiful. I can't deny that. That right there is top-notch beautiful. But we do need a stoic head sculpt. We do need a regular head sculpt for Peacemaker. He is in his own series. His series is awesome. His series is really awesome. But as far as this figure is concerned, it kind of leaves a bitter sweet taste in my mouth. And I don't think I'm going to pick this guy up.
Yeah. I totally get what you mean. I want to share one more thing here. Because this is a photo from Secret Base of the figure, right? So Anthony, I'm going to jump to you on this one. What do you think about this Peacemaker?
I
mean,
don't like it.
Look at that body, bro. He looks tiny.
This thing sucks, in my opinion.
Like he looks super tiny.
Yeah, there's so much wrong with this figure that I don't even know where to begin.
Start with the head.
Now, well, I'm going from the fact that I haven't watched the show yet. So this is a different take, right? I'm looking at it as a hot toy. Now, I agree with Lou, like the outfit looks good. Yeah, I think the outfit itself is kind of a silly outfit, but they nailed it though. You know what I'm saying? They did nail the outfit. But I think whether we like it or not, the exposed joints, like I said, I did a poll as well on my stream. Half people want it, half people want seamless arms. That's just hot toys, you know? That's just the community. It's divided on that. But the body is too small. The face is just silly. And it doesn't really look like him. And I don't know. I've heard that the gun's not removable, but I have no idea yet. That's just what people have been saying. That could just be bullshit. Wouldn't surprise me if they did, though. But
can we talk about the shitty eagle too, though?
It's
yeah,
really.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
It's like another Einstein. They don't do.
Yeah, pets are not their forte, is it?
No, but
is this John Cena? Like really?
Yeah.
Well,
here's
supposed
what I
to
think,
be. Though we were talking about it, right? And I think WWE owns his likeness. Okay, so that's only. I think that's the situation that happens here. So because I would think, okay, give him. I'm all for like expressions, for sure. I enjoy them. I know they're hit or miss depending because it's like a forever pose. They're always either angry or like, remember Zod, you know, from Man of Steel, he's like always pissed, which is cool. But I think the problem here is that they give us, can you scroll down a little bit so I can take one more look at that helmet? Yeah. Because I think it's just a swappable. Yeah, see, that's weird.
Yes, it is.
So it is just one head sculpt with a swappable helmet. Now,
swappable tongues and helmet, yeah.
I think they had to do that because he doesn't own his rights, his likeness rights. I think that's what it is.
I think so too, because Prime 1 did the same thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure. So it doesn't even really look like him. I mean, it really doesn't. So it's kind of, this is where I was feeling like this is kind of an unfortunate situation here where when I first saw it, and you know, we did a live stream right when he was, I thought it was a third party figure. Like straight up. I don't feel like this is a Hot Toys figure. That's just my thoughts. If, you know, you guys enjoy it, and I get it, DC doesn't get much love. So you kind of got to pick up what you can get, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't think it looks really that great.
Anthony, when you look at Casca Reeves, that looks like Sasha Banks. When you look at this,
phenomenal.
I don't see the FU with this.
Well, and
which is John Cena's move.
Like, I definitely see the FU, all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Draw the Line raised a really good question, and this is in line with what Kiko was saying too. If Hot Toys doesn't see good pre-order numbers for this figure, how will they interpret it? Will they assume it's because of the quality of the figure or interest in the character? Yeah, because I mean the pre-order numbers probably weren't going to be incredible for this figure anyway, even though the show is very popular. But the fact that the figure sucks makes it a lot worse, right? Because now you're going to get way less numbers because the figure's not good. So, and that's the tough, like Kiko was saying, the tough situation that collectors are in that love Peacemaker and really want a Peacemaker, because they're like, do I buy this to support it or do I not, because it's not great, right? That's kind of the tough dilemma.
Well, look at what they're going to do. This is going to drop for $280. Okay.
Hopefully they fix it, but
now you're going to have to. Well, I don't even know if they can fix anything. If they don't have the likeness rights, they don't have the likeness rights. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the major glaring issue. The exposed joints is not an issue to Hot Toys whatsoever. I mean, we've got the Shang-Chi figures coming out. They don't care. That's not an issue for the company. That may just be a preference for collectors. So the only glaring issue here really is the size of the body and the head sculpt. And I know that I've already seen a John Cena head sculpt. I know somebody else is going to make another one. And then, as other people stated, they could just do a body swap. But that's the point, man. If I'm going to drop money on Hot Toys, I buy them for the likeness. You know what I mean? And to an extent, sure, if you have troopers or masked figures that don't have a face, they still are amazing pieces and they're accurate. So I feel like you're going to drop $300 on this with tax and shipping, and then you have to go buy a body, and then you have to go buy a third-party sculpt. So I'm not down for that. You know what I mean? Personally,
end up being like a $500 figure.
Yeah. And if there's an
That's unacceptable to me.
Yeah, and if there's an issue with the licensing of this and they can't make it look like what it's supposed to look like, Hot Toys should have stayed away from this, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because that's what they're all about, is capturing the likeness. That's why we get Hot Toys, the head sculpts.
Joao made a really good point. He said the Secret Base staff said the gun is not removable. Wow.
See?
That's just another...
The gun's not removable.
Yeah.
So the gun is holstered in permanently. You cannot remove it. Wow.
That is a crime shame, because we're adult collectors, and this is an adult collectible, and we can't get what this figure is known for, his Peacemaker.
Well,
that must be Warner Brothers.
That's Warner Brothers.
Yeah. I know that's Warner Brothers, because they do it with McFarlane's line as well, for the 7-inch scale DC multiverse stuff that they have. So a lot of their stuff is glued in.
And that's unfortunate. So that's just another drawback and another reason this is a shitty character or figure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm being honest with you guys. Look, I'm being honest with you. Look, if you need to get a Peacemaker for your collection, by all means, like I said, this is it. You don't have a choice if you're collecting Hot Toys. But I feel bad.
And I'm not trying to be that poser type of person or trying to act like I am the ultimate like DC cinephile and fiend and all that stuff. And if Peacemaker and all that stuff is your favorite figure, and I've said this before, my bad. But until the Suicide Squad came out and you found out that John Cena was playing this role, how many people actually even knew Peacemaker was a character? And that's what my point is, trying to figure out, what is the interest in this figure? And as what Aries was saying, is that if you cannot get this right, you need to stay away from it, because to me, I feel like it's going to be one of those figures that it's going to be in the red the entire time. You're not going to make a profit on them, because they're just going to sit around. You're going to reduce the cost of them, and you're going to have bad reception, and then people are going to get mad and be like, see, this is why I don't ever buy any DC stuff. Where's our DC stuff? Well, DC stuff comes out, this is what happens, and then everyone gets mad again, and it's a cyclical cycle that people just love to complain about. So I don't know if there's a good situation for that. It's messy.
Can
you imagine if this was a Star Wars release figure?
Oh my
god.
Like,
I'd be choking.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel for the DC fans.
Yeah, I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I like DC. Kiko brings up a good point, though. I don't know who the hell he was before the movie. You know what I mean? They kind of go with like D-list characters and what have yous. But if you like the movie and then you like the show, then you're going to be like, oh, I would like this figure to fit in my DC collection. So I feel real bad for the DC fans out there, because like I said, if this was a Star Wars figure and they gave me that, yeah.
Well, honestly, the only hope for DC fans right now is JND. I mean, like, if JND gets into the 6-scale game and they can do, and Warner Bros, it sounds like they're giving them the license, Warner Bros. So if they start making DC stuff to combat Hot Toys, maybe Hot Toys just gives up the license, because they don't really care about DC anyway. Besides Dark Knight, it seems like. So,
Plus,
so
why the hell does he have the tongue anyway?
Oh,
he does it in the show sometimes.
Like is he always roaring?
He doesn't do that.
No.
Is he always having that expression, Will, where he's like?
No, it seems. I mean, sometimes, but it seems kind of odd that that's the one they would choose. Like, if you're going to give 2 head sculpts, sure, but there should be just a stern, regular one too.
From what I've seen, it's actually been taken from a Suicide Squad promotional picture. It's the exact same face and expression with the eyes to the side. And then they ended up taking the tongue. I think maybe someone was mentioning that in the comments. The tongue actually came from another publicity shot where Cena's out there doing the thing with the tongue, and they just added that to it. So it's like an amalgamation.
That's what he does in the wrestling, right?
But
Yeah.
look, I'll be honest with you. You get some dinosaurs and monster figures that are roaring half the show, and you don't even get them sometimes. That kind of expression. It's just weird to me, baby.
And bro, Eagly doesn't even look like Eagly.
No, Eagly don't look like Eagly. But to go about the whole tongue situation, he actually does it pretty often. It's just that you have to pay attention to watch it. So, like, for those who don't know, he has a companion, his buddy, and they go out shooting appliances for fun. And this is where the promotional images convey that he's in the woods with his tongue out and everything like that, yelling and stuff. And he's doing that with his companion over there, and they doing all this rock stuff. You hear like the 80s rock stuff in the background. And even when they're going on missions, you hear, the rock music, and he's sticking out his tongue again. Whenever rock music is involved or whenever he's shooting appliances, he's sticking out his tongue. So that's what they're trying to convey with this. But the problem is that when you see Peacemaker and you see the film from Suicide Squad and you see the show, you really don't want him doing that. You want him with his cold, stern face and, kind of like what you saw in Suicide Squad. You want him to be, that jacked up, roided up, like look like the Terminator, I'm going to get you kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But my whole problem is it's like, why did they give you another helmet? And again, I didn't watch the show yet, but I get that. But why couldn't they just give you that helmet with like a regular head sculpt as well? I get that they may need a helmet, right, for the likeness rights to hide the face. But if you could have had like just a kind of an emotionless, a normal figure head, and then this, then I could. Okay, you've brought it up a couple levels. I get it. Okay, you can't do the likeness, but you gave us 2 sculpts, 2 expressions. You did you did the best you could. I don't feel like they did the best they could here.
I was going to say that the helmet is that specific helmet that's there on the side plays a predominant role in the series, and I'm not going to say any more about that. But I do agree with you, Anthony, with the extra head sculpt that's supposed to be stoic and plain Jane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's like half a sculpt. If
it is half a sculpt.
So it's like just throw another one in, and then say, hey, look, this is what we got. This is this feels like a bare minimum effort, especially when you're looking at the Eagle. I mean, what does he have? Swappable wings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's cool, I guess, but yeah, I don't know.
I was really hoping for wings that fold up and hug. Like, you'll see that.
Yeah.
You'll see that.
That would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very unfortunate, guys. Because I really love the show, and the show, like, I know, like Kiko and others had mentioned, like, the popularity of the character. This character did become popular though because of the show, just how massive this show was, and how successful, surprisingly successful it was. I don't think people expected it to be as popular as it was, but it became the #1 show basically. So, it was a hit for Warner Bros. And HBO Max. But I'm just. Yeah, this figure just seems very rushed in every sense. I think Kiko maybe or others had a good theory that this maybe is a Suicide Squad figure that was a proto at one point, and they just rushed it out there for the show. It's clearly not done, but at this point, how do you fix it? You got to replace the body? I mean, I don't know what you can do before release. If you replace the body, you open up a whole can of worms, because there are some people, like you guys were mentioning, that say, I do want jointed arms. And if you just swap them, make them seamless, people are like, why pre-order them with jointless, or with joints, And that's kind of the dilemma. So how do you fix it at this point? I don't know. I would just say just don't pre-order it. Don't pre-order it.
Everybody.
Don't pre-order it and then see what happens when it comes out. But guys, let's move to something a little more positive, because I think this one actually was a big surprise to a lot of people. And what's interesting is that this is supposedly still not with the U.S. retailers yet. Like, I know Sideshow hasn't put this up yet. A lot of the other comic shops haven't, because Sideshow, they usually get their stuff from Sideshow, and Sideshow hasn't thrown it up, which is very interesting. But Blitzway does have it up, and they've listed it for $16.99 plus shipping, set to come out Q1 2023. So this is the Ghostbusters Ecto-1 1/6 scale from Ghostbusters Afterlife. So you're going to see a lot more weathering and grittiness and detail with it, and wear and tear compared to the original one from the 80s. So I'll start actually from the bottom up this time. So Anthony, this Ecto-1, man, I know you were considering getting this. Are you still, going to make room for this?
Yes, I am. like it took me a little bit. It took me a couple days. You know, I did my own solo stream, and then we talked about it on a live. You know, it took me a while. I had to think about it because the issue here is that I'm an OG fan, right? And the problem that I'm having with this is it looks phenomenal. It looks weathered to hell and rusted and beat up, and that's really cool. That is really cool. I was just thinking I would prefer the original, but it's way out of the price range. So I'm gonna get it, but the second issue I have with it is we don't have figures. And not only do we not have figures, we could put a yet at the end of that statement, but even then, would they give us older versions like the aged Ghostbusters, or would they give us the kids? In which case, I don't want the kids personally. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to buy figures, I want Ghostbusters. So I'm a little concerned about it. But then I thought, okay, yeah, so the vehicle's so old. It's like current times right now. You know what I mean? The vehicle's been beat up to hell. It's been 30 years, you know, so it looks phenomenal, dude. And if you ask me my honest opinion, I think this blows the original Ghostbusters Ecto-1 out of the water in terms of quality. You know, the Blitzway versions, you know what I mean? They put in so much care and dude, this thing's crazy looking. So again, after a couple of days of, you know, thinking about it, and I'm going to get it. I'm picking it up. It's just, I really hope. And there are rumors that that Blitzway may be doing the Ghostbusters 2 figures. So with different jumpsuits. So if they end up doing that, then hell yeah, dude, this will work. This will work for me. So absolutely. I'm just curious what other people think about it. And, you know, now's the time. There's a grail right here staring you right in the face. And it's going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a real deal. So you need to buck up or shut up, you know, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I really want one. Well, it's here. So I'm wondering if, you know what I mean? Are people going to pick it up? I'm going to get it.
You only get a first chance twice. That's the saying, right? Yep. So Aries, I'll jump to you on this one. I don't know, Aries, are you a big fan of the Ghostbusters franchise?
Oh, I love Ghostbusters. I love the original ones. I mean, yeah, but yeah, I don't collect them, but I absolutely love the movies. And, you know, I would think, you know, Anthony, if you're saying that, you know, where are the figures, but that there's rumors, you know, that Blitzway is going to be coming out with the figures, a lot of times things like this could be a precursor of what's to come. So is it possible that they are planning to make figures to go with this? So I think that that's something that probably maybe we can read into, possibly a little bit. But, you know, this looks really, really good, Will. And you know what's interesting? While you know, he was talking, I was actually taking a look at the Blitzway.com site because, Will, I'm not, you know, too familiar with it, but it looks really good. And interestingly, right next to it, it looks like that Peacemaker from Suicide Squad is up next to it. I see Ghostbusters, Afterlife, I see Peacemaker, I see the Hellboy 2, the Golden Army, so on and so forth. And I could tell you just from the little 4-inch poster I'm seeing there with Peacemaker, that almost looks a lot better than I'm just saying it looks way better than the Hot Toys version. I'm just saying. But anyway, I have to go back into that, but it's right there next to it on the site. Okay. But yeah, no, I like this.
Yeah, it's really nice. But Aries, yeah, I totally understand, man, with the Peacemaker thing. It's just, dude, the whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, doesn't it look better? I mean, am I crazy? I mean, I don't know. It looks better, just that picture.
Oh yeah, this is the Blitzway Prime 1 statue that they collabed on. So that's why it says go to Prime 1 Studio, because basically what they do, Aries, you probably have seen, like, a lot of Prime 1 head sculpts are done by Blitzway. So Prime 1 does everything else but the head sculpt, because Prime 1 head sculpts are like, they're okay usually, but not always great. But Blitzway does pretty good ones, so they usually collab and work together. But yeah, this sculpt is actually really good.
It looks good.
They did like an in hand of it too, and this one actually will see. You can see that looks like John Cena.
Yeah,
like that. You could see John Cena there.
I mean, if Hot Toys did this, I would be like, oh, this is great. It's not a figure for me, but it's great. But that's wow. Yeah.
And I guess you get what you pay for, but Hot Toys should be delivering the quality that they're accustomed to delivering. So, you know, but it is what it is. Lou, let's jump to you on this one before we go to Kiko. What do you think about this Blitzway Ecto-1? Is this something you're going to pick up?
Oh, yeah, this is a definite pickup, but I think we got somebody in the back.
Ooh, do we? Wow.
See, I look
What's
out for
up,
my boy.
brother?
What's up,
Hello
man?
there.
How you doing, Leo?
What's going on with you, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. Happy to
are
have you
you?
here, man. And also,
No,
you got one of my favorite figures there, so I have to solo you.
Bro, this was my first hot toy.
Me too.
Ooh.
This was my very first hot toy figure, bro. The Kylo Ren. I saw this on Facebook. It was actually, I was on Facebook and I saw, Sideshow's advertisement of this figure, and I was like, wow. I got on and just went down a rabbit hole. But this is my favorite. Out of all the figures that were released, the different versions, this will always be my favorite out of all of them.
Me too. Me
And
too.
this is the version I think that we should have kept all the way to the end. In my opinion,
I agree.
with him, and I think he should have had the mask on. Literally, he shouldn't have revealed his face until the very end. Vader didn't do it, so why should he? You know what I mean? So that was just my position on it. But I love this figure, bro. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Love it.
Dude, I am too. I do too, man. I have one actually right here beside me. So yeah, you can put this guy in so many different dynamic cool poses.
Yeah,
like he's
definitely.
just. That's why I just love the figure, man. And also, he was so cheap.
Yeah.
Like I got my first hot toy, which was him, for like $120 shipped. Like,
Yeah,
and I
he
got this
wasn't
one for
cheap for me.
$90. So
You see, you can get lucky bastard.
what was loose? They gave me all the accessories except the box. It was loose, but I got it for
Yeah.
$90 shipped.
Yeah, I got this thing from. You know what? What was crazy? My first introduction to the company itself, I didn't realize that there was such a lull in our wait time for these figures. You know what I mean? So when I started seeing videos of other people who had it, but they were getting it from other different companies, like, man, why haven't I got mine yet? You know what I mean? But once I got him, it's the rest is history, because I got him. Then Ray followed, and then I was just mainly into the Star Wars IP at that point, not really jumping into Marvel. But then I started seeing a couple Marvel pieces, and I was like, yeah, I got to do that. So
Yeah, it's
And
badass
the rest
figures,
is
man. But
history.
yeah,
Leo, before I get to you on this Ghostbusters Ecto-1, Lou, what do you think, man? Is this something you're gonna pick up?
Oh, I definitely, because it has to go with this. I'm gonna show you real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh, teasing us. By the way, before we do, while Lou gets that, let's grab the super chat.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, you're done? Okay, Lou, give me 1 sec then. Andrew James said, "Wow, what the hell?" Jesus.
well, that's
Stay
funny.
tough, Marshmallow
That's
Man.
beautiful, bro. Andrew James said, 499. Thanks so much, Andrew James. Appreciate you, man. Like, awesome Call of Duty player, even though he breaks truces all the time. Super late, but here's a super chat. Much love, bro. Maybe I'll invite you to the next live stream. Yeah, man. We got to get you on here. I know this. I know. But thanks so much, man.
That's awesome there, Lou.
I know. Andrew James is such a cool guy. So, okay, Lou. So, you're obviously a huge fan of Ghostbusters.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
do you have the original Ecto-1?
No, I do not. I actually went through a situation at that point in time, and I was going to get it. It was in my my shopping cart at Big Bad Toy Store. So I had this on lock for Big Bad Toy Store and the 4-pack set. But life hits, so you have to make a sacrifice, and it was a hard one because, oh man, the price is ridiculous. The 4-pack is going for the price of the original Ecto-1, even more than the original Ecto-1 at this point. And it was just a crying shame because it hurt. And seeing it now, it still hurts. But this gives me hope because I enjoyed the first movie. The first movie was like, okay, this feels like Ghostbusters. This really feels like Ghostbusters. And it's a classic passing down the torch kind of situation, but not directly. It was more like Ghostbusters meet the Goonies, if you will. So those who recognize the Goonies and remember the Goonies, you get a little bit of both in here. And the car itself was a character. So there's presence in this vehicle alone to be the character because it's there. And then with the new modifications in it, it's technically a different car. It's kind of like the DeLorean, the hover conversion. This is that version of a hover conversion, if you will, with the gunner chair and the trap door with the wheelie trap with the remote control trap. It's awesome. And then the weathering inside, like I can imagine how dirty and dusty it's going to look in the inside of it, because if you have a clean figure and you want to dust it up like a Tusken Raider, just toss them in here. You'll be fine.
It's
A
true.
lot of good detail in this. It looks really good. These pictures you're flashing.
Yeah, isn't it crazy, Aries? It
Yeah.
is a lot of detail, like with the rust and stuff, and like the wear and tear on the car. Just really crazy. I hope the final product comes out like that, but I'm sure it probably will. But Kiko, I don't know how big of a Ghostbusters fan you are, so I'm interested to hear what your take is on this.
Well, this gives us an opportunity to talk to the camera.
You want to solo, Kiko?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
All right. Let's
So it's story time with Kiko. Okay.
Let's
So
go.
my first childhood memory, when I want to say 3, I think is when it was. And I woke up and it was my birthday. And my father had come in with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man doll. Okay. And that was my first childhood memory, like my first human memory that I can remember. And from then on out, you know, the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon was my entire childhood growing up. And then I got into Star Wars once I found, you know, the blue chest. We've talked about that before. So Ghostbusters is a big deal for me, and it allowed me to kind of watch an adult movie for the first time as a kid, you know, because I love going back and watching it because there's so many like adult themes in it, which, you know, go over kids' heads, which are fantastic. So all that to say is that Ghostbusters means a lot to me, and I'm really excited about this. Yes, I own the original 4 Blitzway Ghostbusters. That actually was my biggest I guess single purchase that I've ever made thus far, because they are pricey and they are very heavy to get into the collection, but I had to have them. And so it was actually on my hunt list to eventually get is the original Ecto-1. And that is the purpose of this new setup, is to house the Ecto-1. That's the whole reason I put this in here, as that people wondering, like, where's all these display cabinets? Because we moved out here. And this whole display is meant for the Ghostbusters. And that's the whole reason I got it. And so, yes, this is coming into the collection. I can't wait. I will speculate a little bit, is that I think they will do another 4-pack with the kids and Paul Rudd with a Muncher accessory, because if you watch the trailer here, it's got Muncher at the end. And I think that they'll do kind of what they did with the original 4, is that they did the 4-pack with the special edition Slimer. I think they'll possibly do a 4-pack with the kids and, you know, a Muncher. Or like you said, maybe they will do the old version, or the Ghostbuster 2 version. I would love that. The gray jumpsuits are sick. So all that to say, I'm super excited about this. And the big thing I love is that originally, you know, $1,300 is what the original one went for. Considering the state of the world and price inflations, another $300 is not that bad, if you ask me. And what you're getting from the electronics perspective, light years ahead. I know it's only been a couple years, but it's still light years ahead of the original Ecto-1. I think there's a thing where you can plug in to where you can have your own music play out of it, if I understood that right.
Yep.
It takes a USB.
It takes a USB. Yep.
That's sick. That's fantastic. So I'm going to turn this into a speaker for my upstairs to play my tunes through. That's sick. So it's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait for this. It's going to be a long wait, but I specifically built this display to house a big piece like that. And so that's coming soon. Cannot wait. This is my childhood. And let's bring it on. Let's get some more Ghostbuster shit, man.
Dude, see,
Awesome.
that's what I love to hear with these collectibles, man. Like you have you have a backstory behind it, a reason, an emotional attachment, which is one of our topics later. So I don't want to spoil it, but
Oh, hell.
yeah. That's something, yeah, that's really exciting. But before I get to Leo on this one, I got to get to Carlos Super Chat. Carlos, thank you so much, man. Big ball of status with Carlos, clearly. Thanks, man.
And I'm super pissed about this, by the way. Because
I know.
I would think I was on a live stream when someone said, hey, it's live on Sideshow, and I missed it. Super pissed. But congratulations,
yeah, Carlos is the one who got it. So he likes to brag to everyone about it. I don't know if he still, I think he still has it. I'm not sure if he sold it or what, but
Carlos, if you're listening and you say this may not be for me, please hit me up. I will take care of you if need be, because it's going to be a little while until this one shows up. So we can talk if you really don't want it, but we'll go.
Right. Yeah. Right. All right. Well, hey, there you go. There you go. But thanks so much, Carlos. Joey in the house. Joey, what's up, man? Haven't talked to Joey in a little while. Always love your streams, Will. If Hot Toys came out with a new Pattinson Batmobile, which y'all get if you have the space. Lael knows this, but I've not told the rest of the panel. I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but for some reason, Batman's showing Wednesday night here. So he's showing Wednesday night here. So I was going to go Thursday and I got my ticket yet. I have Regal Unlimited, and I checked today Regal and they had a Wednesday night showing, and I was like, the hell? So I'm in. So I got my ticket. So I'll be seeing it Wednesday night. And if the film is great, then yeah, I could see myself getting that Batmobile. But the early reactions are supposedly phenomenal. Supposedly it's even better than we expected. And I guess we'll see. But Joey, thanks so much. The rest of the panel, would you guys have a thought on that? Like, would you get the Batmobile?
I got to see the movie.
Right, if the movie's good. Because I'm getting the
Possibly.
tumbler. Are you guys getting the tumbler?
No.
No. Layout.
But if that's the case, then I'm gonna have 3 vehicles, dude.
One day we'll
I'm
get Aries in
definitely
a
about
non
to.
Star
I'm
Wars
ready for
stuff.
that.
We'll get him.
I'm already
You
getting
have to wonder.
Yeah.
Like that Iron Man. But Leo, I know you're getting the tumbler, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the day. I wasn't passing that up at all. I mean, I wanted it. I just wanted that version of it because I had such an idea with. I love the tumbler itself. So yeah, I wasn't passing that up at all. Especially since the simple fact that I missed it the first time around. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Leia, what about this Ecto-1, man? I know it was something we talked about, but I honestly don't remember if you said you were going to get it. I think it's a no for now, right?
Yeah. It's. I mean, come on, man. I mean, born in the '70s, growing up between the mid '70s into the '80s. If you weren't a Ghostbuster fan, if you didn't see this in the theater, if you didn't see like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, on a big screen, it was like, yo, I mean, that was the first time cinematically I'd seen anything like that, and I was like, yeah, that's incredible. You know what I mean? And you make a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, who at first, as a kid, I'm mistaken for the Michelin Man. Literally, I did. I'm not going front. I did. So when you have that and you make that thing look menacing, I mean, you've done your job. But yeah, I was such a fan of 1 and 2. You know what I mean? I love them both. I love the IP. But I mean, again, there are certain movies where I connect extremely well to the point where I will dive into collectibles. But there's others that I love the films, but the collectibles don't fit in the scheme of what I'm trying to accomplish. And on top of that, like, this thing is huge. Toy is already crying about space, so I don't even want to.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're gonna get the DeLorean too, right?
He's thinking about it.
I'm definitely thinking about getting that DeLorean.
Well,
I
that's
think
what I'm
I
saying.
am.
So then you're gonna have 2. You know what I mean? If you went that route.
So I'm not really. And then on top of that, I'm pulling that trigger on that sand speeder as well. I mean, not the sand speeder, the snow speeder.
Okay.
I gotta have it because there's so much that I want to actually do with it. I'm creating a detail as we speak for that. But not a detail, but a diorama. I'm sorry, I just got off another chat, but a diorama for that piece as we speak. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, this piece, I mean, it's beautiful, bro. And you're talking about a person who hasn't even had a chance to see this movie yet. Like, literally, I haven't had a chance to see it because I've been so busy. I didn't see it in the theater, but it's out now, I think, on demand. I can actually go upstairs and watch it, which I probably will. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I know a lot of people said it was fun. It was a fun film. So definitely. But yeah, for me, it's just, yeah, I spacing wise, it's not going to be something that I want. But that's not to take away from the beauty there is of this piece. Like, it's amazing. Like, the detail, the weathering on this piece. I mean, it looks incredible. I think that I think under the car or in the back of it, you can see that with that little mini RV. It's like that little a little car or something like that, I believe. But there's certain things about this that really scream nostalgia big time. Even in the film, from what I'm hearing. So yeah, I mean, anybody that's gonna get this piece, they're gonna love it. I know they will. Kiko, I know you're gonna love it. I know when you saw it, it was something like, wow, I can't wait. But yeah, for me, it's definitely a no for right now. I mean, I just can't, see myself doing it. There was one crazy person who got the original, who had it at their house, and they did a live stream of it, and it was just a madhouse, and it just kind of turned me off a bit. But Will, you know what I'm talking about too. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, no, yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely, it'll be interesting to see what's. What I love about this piece though, is the simple fact that, again, it's a step away from what we're comfortable with. You know what I mean? It's something totally different. And if they, making the figures for it, even if they don't make the figures and you have the original, it would still fit. You know what I mean? It would still look good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah. And but as we wrap this one up, to answer Joey's question a little more thoroughly, I think you guys all are pretty excited about the new Batman movie, right?
Oh yeah, hell
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
Hell
Dude, it's gonna be incredible, man.
yeah.
It's-
And to answer your earlier question, real quick, Will.
yeah, which one?
About the Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
If they make both Batman and Selena Kyle, then yes,
Okay.
they got to make Selena Kyle. They have
Okay.
to, bro. They got to make. You can't make one without the other because she's been featured a lot in these trailers. She's an extremely important part of the film.
Mm-hmm.
She's an extremely important part of the books if you've read it. So yeah, they have to do her, bro. They have
Well,
to.
you missed the important part, Lil.
What you say?
Hot.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't say that.
The
Toys
wife's not watching, Lou.
Yeah, Toys
Oh
watching.
no, I can
Tori's
say-
watching
Yeah,
this one though.
shh, shh.
But I think they will lay out just because I think this movie's going to be a big hit, and I think
Yeah.
they're going to look at this and be like, "There's two characters from this film we really want to make, and it's those two." So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, they
Batman
have
and
to.
Catwoman. So I think those
They
are going to be
have to.
plus the vehicles.
That they have to. They definitely have to, bro. Because it's. I mean, plus, I mean, the film from what we've gotten, what we've seen with these reviews, like so far, like they've been stellar. Like people love it. They love the film. They said that, you know, even the amount of time is at that, you know,
That's
the
almost
viewing
3 hours,
time.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 3 hours. Yeah.
And they said the viewing time is well worth it. They said even some people said you would want more. Like that's
Really?
how great it is. So I'm like, okay, all right, I'm let's go.
Hey, well, I'm all for it, Leon. I'm super excited to see it this coming Wednesday. But guys, there was a statue that dropped the other day that actually was a little bit of something we knew was coming, but also still very exciting nonetheless. This is the JND Studios Mera from Aquaman, the film that came out, what was it, like 2017, 2018? It was a while ago, right? So this actually was on JND Studios' website for $21.99 plus shipping. So Spec Fiction, from my understanding, the only other place in the States you could get it, because this was not licensed in the USA. So all the other JNDs so far, from what I've seen at least, have been having a USA license, or at least most of them. And JND posted saying they were disappointed that they couldn't get the USA license for this one, but still Spec is selling it. They're the only ones that have it left from what I can see. $2,600 shipped. Free shipping to the USA, 1,200 edition size. Sold out in 34 minutes, I believe JND said on their website. Sold out in 30 minutes. That's just how JNDs are now. That's the world we live in with JNDs. If you want one, you got to know when it's dropping and you got to be online. This one, if you live in the US, it wouldn't have mattered because you couldn't get it anyway, except for Spec, but she's still available. So, guys, I want to jump around the panel here. Aries, I don't know if you've seen the Aquaman film, but this is obviously a very pricey statue, but it is JND, and their quality is pretty stellar. So, what do you think about the statue? Have you seen this yet?
I'm looking at it right now, and I've been looking at it with the show, and I know you were going to talk about it. Holy crap. I mean, it looks absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And looking through all these pictures, and I see the price here. Looks like it's $2,200. Wow. And with about $220 USD deposit to put down on there. This is incredible. I mean, it is absolutely a piece of art. And this is a statue, right, Will? That's what I'm looking at here.
It is.
As I go through it. And honestly, what I was looking before, because I was looking at that Christian Bale Batman and Bruce Wayne duo over that they have, and I was looking at like, wow. I mean, it's uncanny how awesome these pieces are. And did you actually say that maybe I misheard you at the beginning of the show or backstage that they're actually thinking of JND? Maybe, I mean, I'm looking at that Christian Bale statue that they have right now. It's insane. And this is and this Mera as well. But are they going to be venturing into the 1/6 realm, is what you were saying, or did I mishear it?
Yes, they did. They did confirm that in the Mera video that they put out. They said that they will be making 1/6 action figures as soon as next year. They described them as action figures. So they are going to be making 1/6. I think they're going to be mostly making DC, though, because they got to deal with Warner Bros. And I think it's going to be really hard for them to get Marvel and Star Wars. They're also going to be making quarter scale statues.
Wow. Well, if they can do work like this, and obviously, you know, if it figures maybe a little bit of a different game, I don't know, dude. I mean, this is
If they can give Hot Toys a run
absolutely
for their money,
phenomenal.
that's big.
And I think that they can from looking at this. And I know it's a statue. I know it's, what is this, 1/3 scale?
1/3. Yeah.
I love it, dude. I mean, I know that I stick into my game. I have a lot of different stuff, but when I see quality like this, when I see artistry like this, when I see, this is just so nice. I don't know, man. It looks nice. It looks really, really good. And so do all the other pieces as I'm going down that site. Incredible. I would absolutely love if Hot Toys, I think competition is good. And wow, the way that they're doing things here, even if it's just a license, like you said, for DC or something like that, they couldn't get Marvel or couldn't get this or that. Wow, it opens up the door.
So Aries, let me pose a question to you. Since you're the big, I mean, we got a lot of big Star Wars guys on the panel, but since you're maybe the biggest Star Wars guy, like if say JND gets Star Wars and they make a 3rd scale, I don't know who your favorite character in Star Wars, maybe Mace Windu, Anakin Skywalker. Say they make something like that and it's $2,600 shipped. Is that something you would buy if it were your favorite Star Wars character?
If it looks like this?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be hard not to. It'd be hard not to. You know, and you guys were talking about a little bit later, hey, we'll get Aries into some of this other stuff or some of these other pieces or other lines. Look, I think it's inevitable, baby. Because I collect a lot of stuff, but yeah, I would say yes. I mean, looking at this, it's nice. You know, if they can get one of those characters like that, like you're talking about, yeah, I don't know. This is sweet, though. This is sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's just inevitable, Will. Honestly, it's just inevitable. You know it. I know it. I think we all know it. But
yeah,
this is nice.
Yeah.
And I'm digging this company.
Super nice, Aries, for sure, man. And Kiko, I want to jump to you on this one. With this Mera, is this something that you would consider, or maybe if JND made your favorite character, would you drop that type of money to get one?
It's never an issue of would I drop the money on stuff, because I've made a lot of really poor choices over time on a lot more inferior pieces, let's just say. So that's not the issue. As you had said, if they were to make my favorite characters, hell yeah. I mean, without a question. Disturbing to hear that apparently this was sold out in 34 minutes, especially when everyone said, oh, I'm boycotting Aquaman 2. Maybe not, apparently, if that's the case.
Wow.
But then again, you know, I'm a huge Johnny Depp honk or whatever. So politics aside on, you know, their relationship, this is a hell of a figure or statue or art piece, whatever you want to call it. I mean, you cannot die. I mean, this is about as premium of a format as you can possibly get. It's almost uncanny valley because that's Amber Heard. I mean, it is. And I mean, to have a 3-foot mermaid in your house, I mean, that's pretty sick, not gonna lie. But
yeah,
it's incredible to know that this is something that is possible, you know, to get shrunk down to potentially a 6 scale, and we'll talk about that later on. That's very, very enticing, and you know, competition in the market is huge. But is this something I would get? No, but I can highly recommend that. Obviously, everyone else is on board for it. Politics aside, price point aside, it's a sweet, beautiful looking piece. And damn, the future is bright, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Lou, dude, what do you think about this JND Mera, man? Is this something coming home to your collection?
Man, you, Mario, Lane, guys are trying to get me into a whole nother monster, man. I'm only getting one statue, and that's my last Ronin TMNT statue with the brothers in the back. That's the only one I'm getting, and I'm getting it during this storm that's hitting me. This right here, though, I can appreciate from afar. It is a gorgeous piece. Like, all I can say is, like, wow. Like, the artistry is like they took her soul and put it in clay and silicone and just put it right there. You know what I mean? But
has a lot of life.
Yeah, it does. It does. Now, putting this on a 6 scale, and I hear that the 1/6 scale figures that they're possibly doing, or the 6 scale action figures that they'll be doing, is going to be up there in the Iron Man prices. So
that's what I would think.
But if it looks like this, I'm for it all day.
It wouldn't be silicone, but it will still look really good. Yeah.
If they could pull this on a 6 scale figure, I'm all in for DC. Like, I'll make this specifically my DC line, like bar none. Because I don't have any DC figures for 6 scale. I have plenty of 1/12 scale stuff. But for 6 scale, and it looks like this, I'm in.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine them dropping, like, as great as the Hot Toys Cyborg is, what if JND does a Cyborg? Or what if they do, you know, like a Black Suit Superman or Justice League Superman, or they decide to do Bane from Dark Knight or Joker, you know, they could realistically do all those
Or
things.
Peacemaker, Will.
Yep. Exactly. Or the characters that Hot Toys is not making. Idris Elba's Bloodsport, right? Like, there could be so many characters that Hot Toys has chosen not to make that J&D could hop in and be like, we're going to make it even better than you would have made it. Which is great. Competition is great. So, Anthony, this Mera, man, clearly you're getting this. So, you know, it's, you know, no, Anthony, what do you think about it, dude?
I don't care much, obviously, for her either. But, okay, so I saw this shit, and then I watched the video on it. And like how it was kind of creepy, you know, how they were putting in the eye and all that, and then putting in the teeth. But like, you look at something like this, bro. Watch the video, man. If you haven't already, anybody in chat. My life almost flashed before my eyes, dude. Like when I saw this, I was like, "Am I in the wrong game?" Because like I looked back at my Hot Toys, and I mean, obviously, clearly, this is different. You know what I'm saying? This is third scale. But when he was talking about how they want to get down into 6 scale, and they said it was action figure, it was like this light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if it would go silicone, but they'll probably still do the glass eyes, you know, the porcelain teeth. I mean, these guys are making people.
How does the hair end up working? Obviously, rooted hair is a challenge whenever you ship it or whatever, and I'm sure it would be extremely stylized and lots of hairspray or something put onto it to get it to us. But I have a few rooted hair figures that they're a challenge, and it would be a shame if you had a figure of this quality that looks like that and then have like Angelica from the Rugrats type of hair on it, you know.
J&D does style all their stuff beforehand, so they're usually, from what I've seen, pretty good about getting you something out of the box that the hair looks like pretty much perfect.
So, right, like they'll kind of put some what's the word I'm looking for,
like
wrapping, put something in the hair. You know what I mean?
Like styling and
products. Like they treat it or something. They pre-treat it before they ship or whatever. But I mean, dude, this thing is like insane, bro. And it's just like, if they can drop down, because it's a lot of money. I don't really like the character or the actor, but if this was like 6 scale and I started getting 6 scale figures and they look just like, I would pick her up. You know what I mean? To go with anything else. Like I have 0D EC.
I mean, just the colors alone are gorgeous.
Figures. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's hot, man. It's a nice piece.
Yeah.
But you have to wonder, can they translate this to 1/6 scale? That's the question. And it looks like that they can, but I think it'd be a little bit, that'll be very interesting. But I think competition would be very, very healthy for the growth of 1/6 scale and what Hot Toys is doing. I think it would be great.
Yeah.
Even though, like you said, it'd be different stuff.
It's crazy. And Aries, I think you can see maybe in one of these shots and putting the teeth in, see? Like it's and just moving the silicone around. Like it's
little munched face you just made.
I know.
And listen, I just said she like it's a person.
I know, right? I know. So Leal, what do you think about this J&D Mera, man?
Nah, it's I mean, we come to expect this from J&D. You know, they're among the rest when it comes to just the detail, the craft, you know, the sculpt itself. You know, their attention to detail is just impeccable, bro. Like it's a phenomenal you know, piece of art, you know what I mean? But I always say that J&D, they don't make these things for me. They don't. When I look at the price, they don't make these figures for me. They make it for people who can literally afford, you know, something on this particular level. You know what I mean? Like for this to sell out, you know, you have to have diehards and people who can actually afford this that possibly don't live in this area. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's just as remarkable as it is. And I was looking at it, you know, earlier from like the, you know, the photos and stuff. And I was just imagining how it would look as a 6 scale figure. And it would be phenomenal. Like if you look at it right now, you can imagine something like this as vibrant as it is as a 6 scale figure. You know what I mean? And if that's something that they would ever choose to dive into, that would be remarkable. But again, I know those prices would be high. However, 6 scale is totally different, because if they're going to actually give me a miniature version of something like this, scaled down, but still maintains the amount of detail, and their attention to detail is the same for a 1/6 scale figure, then I would think about investing in something. Not a lot, but definitely a few of them. The hard part is being a Star Wars fan, being a DC fan, a Marvel fan, a comic book fan in general. When you look at this and you become that completionist type of individual, when you see something like this, it's okay, well, are you going to give me something else as far as a companion? You know what I mean? And then you dive down that road. For me, again, amazing. Amber Heard, despite whatever, when it comes to politics, when it comes to what people think about a person's personal life, that doesn't transfer, that doesn't translate for me when it comes to film. Because I'm looking at something totally different. I'm looking at the character. Mm-hmm. How well you portray that character. I can care less about your personal life. That's why I'm like, you know what? If they released a Cara Dune figure tomorrow, I'd have it. Boom.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Too, that's just the way it is. So I can care less about what she does in her personal life, even though I know some people, because the thing is, it's like, look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion or whatever happens. That's their life. That's, I can't change you. We spend too much time in this world trying to change people. Just let them be who they are. But if you play this and you portray this character well on screen, I'm with you. I'll ride with you all day. But, and she did. Now, mind you, they are really going to have to explain the sudden change in dialect from what we got in this film, Aquaman, to what we got at the end of the Justice League, the Snyder Cut. She turned to this British accent. Nightmare. Yeah, right. It must have been.
That was weird. Yeah, it was
the
weird.
multiverse of madness out here.
Exactly, right. So I'll take that. But other than that, I mean, as far as the figure or the statue goes, it's a beautiful piece. Just not for me, because I am not willing to pay that price. Because when I think about that price, I think of how many Hot Toys figures that are releasing that I have a chance at getting, that I'm more invested in. And like I said, for me, I'm a poser, so I like to stick with that. And I'm very selective about the statues that I get. So as beautiful as this piece is, I would live vicariously through someone else who got it, and hopefully just, look at the photos and say, hey, yeah, it's decent. You know what I mean? And just live it that way. So
what's the runtime? I didn't mean to interrupt. What's the runtime of someone, like, when they obviously they're showing this, putting this together? What is it from the time of pre-order to release? Is it forever, or is it, because we all talk about Hot Toys schedules and how long it takes and such, but what is the time of production to get these out? Usually
they're pretty quick, because JND have the privilege of not taking on a ton of projects at once. So like they'll get this out probably 6 to 8 months, I would think, maybe less.
Wow.
Yeah. So they turn these on pretty quickly, because this is probably like the only product they're working on producing at the time. Maybe like one other or something. But they're like, but that's my kind of worry too, when they start getting into statues, quarter scale, and then 6 scale figures. They're gonna have to expand their team, right? And we just hope that the quality maintains consistent, because right now they kind of have that luxury of, they don't have a ton of projects. They can make every piece look incredible, but Hot Toys, like, they're producing 50, 60 more things at once, right? So that's why, like, we hope the quality maintains. That's my only concern, but until they don't.
Yeah, which goes to my point, why I would definitely go all in for the DC characters, since they're doing the DC line right now currently, and that's their IP. But it would be one of those numbered figures, so it's going to be a rarity. This is going to be one of those pieces that stand out amongst the rest. You know what I mean? This is separates the toys from the boys and the men from the boys kind of situation with these figures. If they look like this, if they can get it to look like this.
So, and I have the same question I posed to Aries, Lael, same to you. So say JND says Jin or so tomorrow. Is that something you would pick up for, say, 2,600?
Nah.
No, not even Jin.
It's the price. I mean, because the thing is, bro, I mean, as much as I would want to, realistically, I have to think and prioritize. It's like,
that's fair.
That's if I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about expenses. Also, I'm thinking about other figures that I can actually get, and spacing. As much as I love. Now, here's the difference, because I said this once before. I may not do a JND figure or a JND statue, But if Hot Toys decided to release a quarter scale version of Jyn Erso, it is no question.
Yeah, me too.
I will get that thing. No question. But this, again, it's the simple fact that, you know, it's, again, it's the expense. If they scale down, which they won't. But here's the thing. They have a right to charge it because they put quality into that. So I'm not disputing. It may not be something for me, but for the price that they're issuing for this piece, it's theirs. You know, they have a right to do that because they put time, they put effort, the attention to detail, and the simple fact that they are giving you something that is a movie masterpiece. And when I say movie masterpiece, it is a movie masterpiece. It's like you're staring at her right now off of a screen. It's vibrant. It's amazing. It's a beautiful piece. I mean, if you have, for those who basically got that JND Wonder Woman, that Golden Armor Wonder Woman, if you put this next to that, just imagine how it would look. And it's still within the same IP. It would be amazing. Amazing. And they have a right to choose that.
The license, though.
What you say?
If they somehow could do Star Wars and they did this exactly the same third scale with Jyn Erso for the same price, though, would you get it?
For this? That's what he asked me earlier.
Yeah, I think he's no, yeah.
Yeah, nah. It's too much, bro. I'm not
the price or
that's a
the
mortgage.
price. I'm not paying that price.
It is a lot.
It's a lot to basically put into something like that.
No
yeah,
worries.
I would.
That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what brings us back sometimes, Will, and what Lael is saying there too. And it's like, you prioritize, like you're saying, Lael. And then when it comes when you're pulling a trigger, you're like, you know what? How many Hot Toys can you get with this? And what do you have budgeted as well? But you still wonder about it, right? Because it's so sweet. So if they did a Jyn Erso, if they did an Ahsoka like this, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's so hard, you know.
If they did a Jyn Erso, then and if they offered a payment plan, then possibly
they do. They do.
If they offered that, then possibly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like I said, even that payment plan would have to be reasonable within the budget. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at.
$100-something a month.
That's what it would have to look
at.
at. It would have to be within the budget, and also it depends on how well. Because I'm not saying that they wouldn't do it well, but then again, bro, as it goes right now, I don't think JND is going to get that license.
I don't think so either.
I don't. I really don't think that they're ever going to get that license because it's just too much going on right now. If there's other companies already fighting for that license, hell no. I don't think. I just don't think they're going to do it. But it would be a wonderful, you know, piece to behold if they did. But yeah, that price, man, it's like, yo, I would have to really explain that. I would have to explain that. Literally, I would have to explain that to Toya. Once I woke up with both arms broken, both legs fractured,
Toya,
in the hospital with an IV.
I forgot I had it. It was in a box.
Exactly.
That sounds like a horror movie.
With an IV 6 months later after I've woken up. Literally.
Jesus.
Like, that's a lot to swallow, bro. It's a hard pill to swallow when it comes to a piece like this, man, for real. But, I mean, but you will. You can afford it.
I did sell my Joker, by the way, so I'm thrilled.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Not my JND, my because Carlos dropped a super chat, which we're gonna get to, but we got to get to Cobra's first. Cobra's, thanks so much, Cobra's Collection, appreciate you. Story time with Cobra's. I remember summer of '89, Ghostbusters 2 came out almost as Batman. We were dirt poor, we could only see it one. It was Batman. Wow. Okay, so that was '89. Batman came out, and Ghostbusters 2 came out that year. Is that? Am I reading that right?
Yep.
Wow. Do you guys remember seeing both of those in theaters?
What was it again?
Batman '89 and Ghostbusters 2?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
See, I wasn't born
remember.
yet. I was born in '91, so I wasn't even alive yet.
I had
Bro.
the VHS tapes.
Bro.
Really?
VHS.
Listen.
My age.
Bro, Batman '89. Check this out. We were standing in line at the East 5 Theater, bro. In line. And they were playing Prince's music outside. People were dancing. And that's around the time.
Prince?
Eric, yeah, Prince.
Beautiful.
That was huge
Prince.
then.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So here, check this out. Eric, so you remember this. Remember the big, huge Batman buttons that they sold around that time? Remember that? So yeah, they were huge buttons that people would wear. Yeah. Like people, because you got to remember, it was an era. Like I want you to, hey, Will, I want you to do your homework, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to give you some homework.
All right.
I want you to go back, look at '89, and I want you to look up a rapper. His name was Kwame. You know what I'm talking about, right? Lou, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm thinking of Kwame Brown.
No. His name was Kwame, and he wore polka dots. But at the same time, Kwame used to wear these big, huge Batman buttons, and everybody was rocking those buttons. So basically, everybody showed up to the theater with those Batman buttons. And it was a sight to behold, and it was such an amazing film. And news, that's how much of a phenomenon this movie was in '89. News cameras were at the theater, bro, because that's how long the lines were.
Was it that?
It was, yes, that's what it was. It was a huge.
Nice.
It was those buttons. They were huge, but it wasn't this one. It was just the regular Batman with the logo,
like
the yellow one. Up top, the yellow and black
third
one.
one to the left.
Oh,
to
this
the
one?
right.
Yeah, that one. That's what it was.
Okay.
It was those. So those huge Batman buttons, like literally, and everybody, it was crazy, bro. It was insane. Like people even, because if you saw the Prince video,
Yeah, that's it.
remember half of him was the Joker and the other half was, you know what I mean? So it was such,
this was dope.
exactly. So that's how much a phenomenon it was in '89. Ghostbusters 2 dropped, same thing. People loved it. Bro, that's what makes the '80s so great, bro. That's what makes that era so great. But yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Well, that's probably why Stranger Things is like all about the that time period, and that's why it's so successful because people love the '80s. So
It's phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And hey, Terminator 2 was in '91, but still, we'll count. The '90s were great.
I saw
too.
that shit in the theater, dude. My
Did you?
mom didn't give a fuck. She was
Dude, that
like,
movie's
I was like,
violent,
I want to go
too.
see
Yeah.
Terminator. I want to go see Terminator. The year before, we saw Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And then you go see Terminator 2.
Yeah, but I mean, she took me to Batman and Batman Returns, and I remember the days.
Yeah.
I remember where we went and eat. Where we went. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like one of those forever days that you never forget.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was
Yeah.
just cool being a kid and I was with my mom, but it was dope. Afterwards, she took me to the comic book store. I was like looking at all the Batman comics. We just watched the movie.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
buy whatever
it
you
was
want.
crazy,
Get like
bro.
$10 worth of comics. They were like 50 cents.
When I was
so,
young, I
you know.
remember my mom took me to see 8 Mile. That was pretty pretty crazy at the time because I was pretty young. So there's some wild stuff that happens in that film. It's really good though.
Bro, that's back when Aries' hair was as black as mine was back then. and Aries
Like
Aries
5 years
would-
ago.
Aries would,
Yeah.
Aries would pull up in a Volvo or Audi and was like, "Hi guys." Like,
Like 5 women in the back.
I'm gonna have to go on a photo album now.
Yeah, right.
Little hints.
right?
Oh my goodness.
And he would
Right.
still be like, "Is it possible?"
Yeah. yeah. Is it
Yeah.
possible that I'm going to see the Batman just like you? I
Right.
say
Yeah,
yes.
Yes.
Now move out of my
Yeah,
parking
true.
space. I need to get right there. Thank you.
He's like, "Is Aries gonna have to choke a bitch?"
Come on.
Little Wayne Brady, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so Carlos said offered Will 4,500 for his JND Joker, and he declined. Can you all please convince him for me? So Carlos, thanks so much, man. Carlos did offer me that. So my JND Heath Ledger Joker, he offered me 4,500. I think I paid 24. I don't even have it yet, Leo.
It's over.
Like, is Aries
Leo's
Tarrington
gone.
gonna have to choke a bitch?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh, my
Aries, dude,
God.
you gotta
Oh.
like send me a voice clip of that or something.
I know. Right?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can do some crazy editing.
You know why? I'm laughing because in my head, if I
put-
close my eyes, I can hear it.
You have to wonder.
Right.
Is Aries gonna have to choke a bitch? The Dark Jedi himself.
Right.
Oh, Aries, man.
You have to wonder now if the Wizard's going to take on my likeness. I don't
It's
know.
possible. It's possible.
Oh man, come
Yeah,
on.
but I don't think
Oh,
the
that would
panel
be
can
a
convince
great
me
one.
because I really want to keep this JND Heath. Leo knows I've wanted this thing for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
But
what's
yeah.
crazy? Can I just say that Ed in the chat here
Yeah.
brought up a valid point right there, the very last chat. I actually remember that as a kid.
Really? Everyone hated Keaton at the time?
Yes.
Yeah, when he was
Yeah.
cast, there was so
Yeah,
much
they did.
backlash.
Oh, when he was cast. Okay.
Yep. Because everybody was saying, "How can Mr. Mom play Batman?" That was just one of the
Remember
biggest
Heath
things
Ledger
back
with
then.
Joker? Everyone
I
I was
hated
gonna
Same
say
thing.
that's the way
Same thing.
anybody is cast for anything. Everyone
Yep.
always says, "What the hell?" This
Right.
is wrong,"
Yeah.
because we know everything, and we obviously know
Right.
all the casting situations, and so
Right.
it's always so fun to me when they're like, "Hey, it's announced that so and so will be in the." what the fuck are they doing in there?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
even when
right.
even when they said Rosario Dawson was Ahsoka, they're like, that's not gonna look like Ahsoka, and now everyone loves her. You know,
Right.
Yeah,
it's just so
right.
funny how people
Yeah,
just have
true.
to give
really,
it because, dude,
yeah,
because
give it
for
some time.
because sure, for Pete, I remember the Heath Ledger thing. People were like, he's a pretty boy. How can he play the Joker? You know what I mean? And then he just obviously had the
history
best
repeats
performance ever.
itself. That's why I'm hoping this Batman's going to be amazing.
Bro, they did the same thing for Joaquin Phoenix. The same exact thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There was
right.
pushback. There's no way he. Oh, this is terrible. Even when if everybody actually saw the earlier photos of the costume, the makeup, and everything, they tore it down. Now it's one of the most popular renditions that you'll ever see. Like literally.
Yeah, you see every single medium had it. The 112 scales went nuts. There's like 3 different variations of the 112 scales. 1/6 scales. Good luck finding one.
Yeah.
Good luck finding one.
Literally.
Well, the fact that Hot Toys never did a Joaquin Joker just it so baffles me.
It baffles me,
I had
bro.
to make my own. That's that
I
one right
think
there.
That's why I got the Prime One because the Prime One Blitzway because that's
Yeah.
but if
I
you know
think the
layout,
movie
if
was
JND
too
makes that
aggressive, man.
if JND makes that Joker, I'm getting it.
I
I'm
know
getting it.
you
I'll
will.
sell this
I
one.
already know you will.
Yeah,
I already
will.
know you will.
I want to share
Will.
one that Leo. I know you. I think you're excited about this one. I don't know about the rest of the panel, but we're gonna
What is
find
it?
out. This is one you probably talked about this, Leo.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this
Yes.
is the So Toys.
Yes.
The Last Sun Returns. So it's a Superman.
Yes.
You guys will have to explain this one to me. Is this Superman from Smallville or something else?
No, this is
No.
Superman from. Okay, so all right, about a year and a half ago, probably
2
2 years ago. 2 years ago now. The WB did a Crisis of Infinite Earth. They actually did it. With the Flash, with the Arrowverse. It was Flash. It was Black Lightning. It was Supergirl.
The Titans.
The Titans. Well, no, not the Titans. Well, not the
Well,
Titans.
they showed them.
Heroes of Tomorrow.
They showed some of them.
Yeah, they showed some.
Yeah,
I guess,
they showed
and
some of
Lucifer
them.
and-
Heroes of Tomorrow,
Bro,
stuff like
like-
that, and also they showed what was his name?
You talking
Constantine.
about Constantine? Yeah.
So anyway, and what they did was they showed it was like a multiversal effect. Whereas Brendan Ralph played Adam, he played he played a different character, but then when that happened, it switched back to him playing the Kingdom Come version of Superman, and this is what we actually got. Now, the Kingdom Come version is from a book. It's actually from a comic book. You go back and read it, you'll actually know where this suit comes from. So, of course, if you have, and anybody who basically has the Golden Armor Wonder Woman, this would be a nice compliment to that piece. Loco, I know you're going to get it, so shut up. Like, literally, this would be a compliment to that piece. It would look so good next to it. You would actually have partial of the Trinity for the Kingdom Come. It looks amazing. I can't wait. It's an instant buy for me. I already paid it off. It's done. It's a wrap.
Okay. So is anyone else on the panel really excited about this figure?
Probably
Me.
not.
I am. No, I am for the same reason as Leo.
Okay.
Like I told
Are you
like,
getting
if
it,
I
Anthony?
Well, that I'm debating because I really want to pick up that the Golden Armor. Only because of that. She would be, if I get her first, she'll be my first DC. Because I'm the
Basically.
same way. It's just the Kingdom Come is Alex Ross style.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. And we've talked about it on streams. I keep saying I'm really thinking about getting her. And then this dropped, and I was like, shit.
Yep.
This would look sick as fuck together.
Yeah. It's
Like if
incredible.
you understood, it would. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I think we just have to take hats off. I was talking with somebody that Susu Toys or Soso Toys, however you pronounce it, has not missed in a while. They have been absolutely incredible with their offerings. For one, giving you a wide variety. I mean, just think all the way back to, what was their Invincible character? The what's that guy's name?
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man. Yeah.
I mean, even going back to Omni-Man, the Green Goblin. I mean, they've been getting
Gambit.
all the good ones. The Gambit ones,
killing
they
it.
haven't missed. And we've been talking. It's been a theme this entire show is that competition is good, and this is what happens when competition is pushed. You get solid stuff like this, and DC is not my thing. I have my Batman, and I love Batman, but I cannot continue to go down all those rabbit holes. So I cut it off at DC. But damn, this is so good, and I know a lot of people are very happy to see offerings like this because you don't get these all the time, from Hot Toys, and Hot Toys is never going to touch this. So this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I said it was. Sorry, Lou, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I have to get this. Like me and Leo talked about this
Yeah.
behind the scenes, and he's like, "Loco, you get this. You got to get yourself the golden armor. You cannot have this and not have the golden armor. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it." And he's kind of right because I'm shying away from DC. Oh, the 81, like the 84 Wonder Woman wasn't my movie. It wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really enjoy it.
None of us did.
The fight scenes were, kind of, but the suit, I can appreciate it and love it from afar. But now that this is out, I may need to go down the rabbit hole and just pull the rabbit out of the hole. Not me jump in it per se, just stick an arm in there and pull it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this and wired cape. That's what it looks like. It looks like a wired cape. I'm hoping it is because, oh my goodness, this.
I mean, their only real sin is there's no flight pole. That's the only real sin that you could really say about this. And I mean, how many figures do we have with flight poles? I mean, you can always go find that if you need it. But yeah, what a win.
Leo.
What was that?
I said not anymore. Thanks, Leo.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
The thing is, too, though, keep in mind that Brandon Routh or Ruth or however you say his name, he was Superman in 2006 in the Superman Returns movie.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool that he was able to, because that's a great movie, dude. It's underrated, I think, in my opinion. I know what they were trying to do.
I agree.
They were trying to kind of be a sequel to Superman 2. Had that feel, but so it was cool to see him again be able to put on a suit. You know what I mean? And reprise that role as Superman. So that's another reason for me why I was like, okay.
And real quick, Ed Renor, Ed Renor, he said, is it double jointed arms?
No.
So if you look at it, right? So here's the thing. This is how you get seamless arms right. Or not seamless arms right, jointed arms right, when you disguise them under an actual shirt. Like, this is how you get it right. And the proportions are extremely well, and it's well done. They use the right body for this figure, and it looks great, and I can't wait to get it. You know what I mean? So again, like Higo said, when you're competition, this is how competition, their innovation and pushing things forward, they are forcing the hand of these other companies to get things right. And if you miss the gun, and that's what I'm saying, they're doing things that other companies won't do. So if you miss it and miss out on it, but then complain about it, like, you dropped the ball. You know what I mean? They didn't tell you to. You just did it, and they just picked it up and ran with it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, this to me, bro, I am so super duper excited about it. And if you look at, and here's the thing, bro, we know that Hot Toys, when it comes to head sculpts, bar none, I mean, they kill it. You know what I mean? Peacemaker aside. But, you know what I mean? You look at this piece, bro, and even though it's a third-party figure, I see Brendan Routh. I see him. It looks exactly like him, bro. It does. Right there. I see it, bro. I see this figure. Is it perfect? No. But I see him, and it looks decent. It's decent enough for me to put him right next to, Golden Armor Wonder Woman and recreate, and it's going to look incredible. So, yeah, well, I think you should get it.
Leo, quick
I
question.
even like the gray and the hair.
Yeah.
It's dope, dude.
Broskis, I got a quick question for you, my man.
Yeah.
What if we took this body and put it on the Hot Toys Peacemaker? It would look sick.
Well,
I think it probably would.
I'm
Look at the
confused why they
arms.
didn't use this body for Omni-Man, because this would have, to me, made more sense for Omni-Man too. Like, it looks pretty big. Like, maybe they will. Maybe they'll go back and change it. But the Omni-Man body layout, was smaller than this.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I was afraid of because, bro, I'm telling you, and people can doubt me if they want to. I got that Superboy. It's called The Boy Is Still.
Oh yes.
Yo, that Boy Is Still figure is incredible. Once you get it in hand, the presence on that piece, and see, that's what I even plan to do as well, is to have this figure. You can use this figure. You can have the Hot Toys Justice League Superman. You can have the black, however you want to do it, and create an entire family. You can create the crew that you want to see, bro. The ones that we've actually seen from the books, you can recreate it. You can get super. Now, if they release Loco and Mafia, if they release Superboy Prime, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I am done. I'm done, and I might check out, and I'll blow a whole bunch of money on a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
If they release I have been waiting for a company to release Superboy Prime for the longest time. And if they do that, it's a wrap. I'm telling you.
You had to go
It's a
Superboy
wrap.
Prime on me, bro.
Yes, it's a wrap.
Superboy Prime on me,
It's
man.
a
Come on.
wrap.
Well, Aries, what do you think about the Superman figure? This is called The Last Sun Returns, and it's a pretty cool one from So Toys. So what do you think, Aries?
I think, going on your show and taking a look at So Toys and what they're doing over here. Wow. I mean, everything just looks really good about this figure. Now, I have to catch up. My wife and I have to catch up on the Arrowverse for a couple of seasons. And let me ask you guys here, and Lael, I know you were talking about it. Is this the one with Crisis on Infinite Earths where Tom Welling made an appearance?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So,
Yes.
Now I did, because I am a humongous Smallville and Tom Welling fan. And it was great to actually see him come up with another show that I watched called Lucifer, which I was like, oh my God, it's great.
Oh, he made an appearance too.
Yes, he did.
Yes. And I it gives me hope, because look at these. I mean, like the whole body looks fantastic. It looks like that they nailed it. And I think that's really, really important. And I hear a lot of you also saying on here, they seem to be hitting it on all cylinders. But I tell you what, could they? And I don't know much about this company, but if it's possible that they're doing this, that they could give us a Tom Welling, Superman from Smallville or something like that.
If any company could do it, they could.
Dude, I would buy
and they
it.
would.
I would buy that.
Without a doubt. If any company would, because what they do, Aries, is they tackle the side characters. So they're doing right now, they're doing the Titans, of course. They've given us, they're still basically in the Watchmen IP, so they're still giving us figures from that. And also, for everybody who's actually purchased the Gambit, we are getting a Rogue. So if you want a Rogue as a companion piece, you can actually get that. So it's going to be coming soon. So I'm telling you, they're tackling figures that a lot of companies won't touch. And I love that about them. And it's quality once you get it in hand. Like literally. It's quality. So if anybody, if you have that, if you wanted to basically put it this way, if anybody who's a Spider-Man fan and you get that Spider-Man Noir that they released, phenomenal.
Yep.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
And it makes me want to go catch up. I'm going to have to talk to my wife about it and catch up on the Arrowverse. We've been watching some other stuff. We're looking to get back in it. But I did peek on the YouTube because I'm a huge Smallville fan. They have the clips and they have the Tom Welling, returning in that. And I'm like, holy crap, it spilled my coffee, man. But if they could do something like that. And even when he looked like he didn't put the suit on, he was just in the farm boy, I'd buy it.
And give me an Aquaman version with a Kiko head sculpt, and we are all in. We are all in.
Kiko collects head sculpt.
Let's go.
Guys, I have to ask the question though, and I don't know how many of you will be able to answer this. Sean Bean in the house. Sean Bean, thanks so much, man. I still gotta join your streams one day. I'm trying, I promise. In your opinion, who would be the right Batman to finish that Kingdom Come Trinity? Does anyone know the answer to that one? Because I definitely don't. So
they would have to have
are we talking about
custom head
look,
sculpt.
or are we talking about demeanor?
I would think look. That's why I'm interpreting the question, but I don't know. Like if you were to get another figure to go with the Kingdom Come Trinity, say, because the Golden Armor Wonder Woman, this Superman, and then you need a Batman, right?
Yeah, but all these have been played by actors, so Batman has not yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if they were to make one, they would just kind of have to wing it on the sculpt.
Right. I get what you mean.
Yeah, that's the part that would be kind of, because you can't. It would look awkward if you tried to use, the BVS version, the Justice League version, the
version.
Suicide Squad version, the Keaton. It would look awkward. It wouldn't look. It's crazy because here's the thing. Even though we have Gal Gadot in the golden armor matches the era. It matches the Kingdom Come version that we got from the book, so it makes perfectly good sense. Aesthetically, it looks great. And I think this next to it, the vibrant colors clashing against each other, it would be incredible. So for that, they would have to use both of these, and then you put one of those versions of Batman next to it, it's going to look completely off, to be quite honest. So that's a hard way. It's hard to wait. You know what? Here's the thing. We just have to wait and see After we get the Flash movie, then we can talk about it possibly.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
true. That's true.
Oh,
Because he's old too, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like hella armored up.
Yeah.
Like, if that makes sense.
So maybe it would be the new
it's
Keaton Batman.
It's a
we'll
different
get.
look. Yeah.
It's
Not
a totally
even
different
new
look.
Keaton Batman. He still looks different.
Yeah.
It still looks different. It would look more akin to like, I want to say close, but not really like BVS armored Batman, but not quite. It's
Yeah.
off by quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it gives you an idea. It's like he's almost wearing a mech suit.
Yeah.
You know.
And the thing is, the suit itself, because it also complements his spine. There's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot going on with it.
Okay. Well, guys, awesome job on that topic. There's something actually, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball on this one because we talked about
I figured
this.
you would.
I know, bro. Keep you guys guessing. That's what I do. Because we talked about this on a previous show, but we didn't know the specifics of the item. Now we do. So I kind of want to get into this, and I want to actually start with Ares, even though we just went with him, because Ares, this is a statue, right? $5.95 for this statue. Honestly, and I had Riley, I think, asking me this. I know the measurements. I still don't know the scale. Is it 1/5? Is it 1/4? Like, because it's 20 inches tall almost. So I would assume it's probably 1/5. That makes the most sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you
But
pull
it
up the
doesn't
picture
say.
with the apple.
Let's see. Is there's got to be a picture with an apple in here somewhere.
There's always a picture with an
Yeah.
apple. The
Yeah.
apple's infamous.
There
There
it
you
is.
go.
go.
You
So it
can
gives you
kinda
the measurements, but
gauge.
where's the scale?
Well, you kind of have to use your brain on this one.
Use the
that's what I'm
QR
saying.
code and view in your room.
But that's what I'm saying, Anthony. Like with that scale, that could realistically be 1/5. That could be
Could be 1/4. I mean, it's on. I mean,
Yeah,
right.
like with the lightsaber going that high, we don't. I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
on a base
imagine
and the
his
legs
head.
are up.
I'm
So what
just
do you
saying,
think? What do you
like,
think it is? You think
see-
it's 1/5?
I think these are 1/7, honestly.
Yeah. See, that's my point. Like we don't really know. Like we have the
Yeah.
measurements, but it's so hard to say. Like
Yeah.
It looks like a 1/7 bust, but with legs.
They might not want to tell you. They just want to. They gave you the measurements though. So
right.
hmm
So Aries, would you consider picking this up?
Was that 20?
Again, when it comes to any of these, and what was the price you said again there? Because last time we talked about this,
$5.95.
yeah, they didn't
$5.95,
have
yeah.
it. So at least we found out that it was $5.95, which I think for looking at this piece, is a good price. I think actually, for what you're getting here and it being a statue, and this looks just phenomenal with the Clone Wars. I mean, I think it looks really really good. Yeah, I mean, it looks really, really good. I mean, here's the thing, and Leia was talking about it later. I think some of us were talking about it earlier. It's hard because I've got other priorities right now with Hot Toys and some other collectibles. And as much as I want to do this, like if I was going to get a statue, Will, and I think that I could and I would, but it would be more of me going into it like, hey, I'm going to set this up as kind of like if I got a light box. And I put that on top of one of my, displays, or I got a diorama, or I want to go ahead and fix this up in one of my collection rooms and have it, be there as a piece. Like, oh wow, check this out. It's kind of like, what are the paintings you would have in your home or in a hallway or something like that. So I think under that view, something like this, I could see myself getting, statue wise, like you brought up before. The 1/3 figure from JND. That's what I could see that someday. But then again, I have to make sure and be like, hey, well, what am I supposed to be getting? What is coming out for Hot Toys? What am I getting out with this? What am I supposed to be getting with that? But if I could fit it in and it's something I really, really want, I also have to dive into saying, hey, am I going to go down a rabbit hole with this? I don't think so much with this. That I would, but I think that there's other statues. Like for me right now, I keep eyeballing those Mythos statues, which I think those are 1/5 or whatnot. And they have the crazy Unleashed type. They have the Darth Maul and the Emperor, and some of those ones that are absolutely sick. And I think that would match kind of the vibe that I would want. So but again, with that, I would probably want all of them, but there's not too many of them. But probably no, but if I could afford it, I would. And it's not that I couldn't afford it. It's just that I got to prioritize that price now for some other things, if that makes sense. But I think this is great.
Yeah, that definitely does. So Kiko, What do you think, man? Is the statue for you?
Go back one slide where it's sitting next to the coins.
This.
Yes. So, to me, and kind of what Aries was saying, that Mythos Mall was my first statue that I ended up getting. And I love that. That's 1/5 scale. I think that's the right scale for me. Now, there are some things in the pipeline that are a little bit bigger than that. But for me, it's got to be a 1/5 minimum. To me, these look just like the Gentle Giant pieces with legs, to me. And I think for $600, it needs to be a little bit bigger than that. Because you look at the Mythos price range, and that's what it is, $595, $600. You know, that's kind of what the Mythos line is. And to me, this just doesn't scream the menacing realism that the Mythos offers, if that makes any sense. This looks like Gentle Giant to me. That's not a knock on this. I think it's really cool. And when it's sitting at Replay Toys, you know, who knows? I may change my mind when I see it in person, but I think it's just a little small. And when you're dealing with statues in that price range, for me, because I'm just kind of starting to get into that little game, it has to be a show stealer and a real, like, walk in the room and you immediately go over to that. If this is sitting on a shelf with any of the Mythos statues, you're not going to see this. You'll see the Mythos statues. And for $600, you can't miss a statue, if that makes any sense. And so that's my unbiased opinion on it. Opinion of one, of course, but that's my thought.
Okay. So let's hop around a little bit. Layout. Is this something you think you're going to pick up?
See, I'm on the opposite side of the coin. I mainly want it because it's, I mean, season 7 of the Clone Wars is incredible. I loved it. I ate every bit of it up. Even though, like I said, in certain angles, it looks like we're watching, the Nutcracker Suite. But besides that, there are certain angles that do complement it. Here's the thing, because I was kind of struggling with it because I was like, damn, I'm getting both the Clone Wars 1/6 scale Maul and Ahsoka. So if I wanted to recreate, I could just do it in 6 scale form. You know, if I wanted to do whatever I wanted, I could do it that way. But I was looking at this throne, and I was like, okay, I do like that throne. I like the scorched, effects on it. And from certain angles, I even like the, menacing thrash of Maul. You know what I mean? And like just like that play on, just motion between the two of them. It looks kind of good, right? Not that one, not that one, not that one looks. But if you look right there, and I think there's another one, a few more. If you keep going down, I think going
should be like that.
Yeah, keep going. Well, I like the lighting on right here. Yeah. I like just that motion and that angle. And I'm just looking at camera angles. That's pretty much sort of like a selling point for me when I look at it. But yeah, I don't know. I like this piece. I like it a lot. And again, like I said, I was kind of fumbling around between, this and, knowing the simple fact that I already have Maul and Ahsoka coming, once it's released. But I like it. I like it, and I it's not something I believe I'm going to pass up. I'll just say that.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a great looking piece for sure. But Anthony, what do you think, man? Is this statue for you?
Well, I had mentioned this actually on Lael's stream last Wednesday on Say What, that I was calling it. I was like, this got to be 6 scale. We're damn close to it. And now that we're seeing these images, and the reason I say this is because this is a Sideshow piece. And we all know how they've been kind of iffy with their figures lately, and they're bringing out their Clone Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin. So even though this is a statue, if the scale is approximately the same, this is going to help facilitate sales, because you can kind of make a hybrid display with these if you have the Clone Wars figures that are coming out plus this. So that's why I'm assuming, especially by the looks, this would fit. You can make a cool little display with all 4 of those figures if you wanted to. On top of it, I don't suspect that the way this is styled right here, the way we're seeing these images, I don't suspect this is how it's going to be shipped, which leads me to believe that Ahsoka and Maul are pegged into that throne.
Yeah, I think so.
In which case, if the size is about right, you could take one of your other Hot Toys Mauls and sit them in the throne as well.
Yeah,
so
that was the point. Yeah,
it's kind of neat. Like, am I gonna get it? We'll see. I don't know yet. I think the price isn't too bad. And the only reason I'm iffy on it is because on normal circumstances, I feel like this isn't really like a statue like I would get.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
right, you see what I'm saying? But it could fit. It could fit if the scale is just about right. I think you can make a really cool kind of corner display or on a shelf, you know, with the Clone Wars era, that very, you know, angular animation stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that could work.
It like borders between the line of Gentle Giant and Iron Studios.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Between those two lines.
But you guys are right. Anthony, they're definitely pegged into the throne.
Yeah.
You can see pretty much their legs are flush up against it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, right there.
And it ain't gonna be
leg,
shipped like that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you would peg them in which case you could take them off if you wanted to. I'm not saying buy it just for a chair, but if the scale's right, that would look kind of cool too. Putting like a mall sitting on it or something, or you know, I don't know, but it'll fit.
Yeah.
I think it would look really great if you were gonna pick it. And again, it's Sideshow and Sideshow. So I think that's why I'm thinking that's what they were doing. That's a smart business move. Hey, here's our new figures. You can display them with this. You know, why don't you buy it? Oh, I should buy this now. Oh, maybe I'll get the figures because I got this statue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. So, Lou, what do you think, man? Is this statue going to be for you? Is it something you're considering picking up?
Once again, you guys in the damn statues. Freaking rabbit hole, man. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I had this one in my eye. And
okay.
I grew up watching Star Wars later. Like my first, you know, back into like seriously being focused on it was Attack of the Clones. Not even episode 1, Attack of the Clones. I had skipped the episode and I watched that. I was like, damn, Yoda's the man. Yoda's the man. But watching the animated series, you know, at home right after school, you know, just like, you know, majority of everybody else here, this right here, it's a beautiful piece. 6 scale, it could be maybe a taste under scale, and we know Sideshow sometimes their scales is a little bit off too. If you look at the Wolverine, it's not quite there, but yeah, this is a magnificent piece, and I know everybody, you know, gives it flack with the Nutcracker reference because of the whole ballet, but if you're into martial arts and you know how martial arts is, they have something called katas, and you know, it's basically choreography and movement. And when you're fighting specifically, when you're doing sword fighting, and you know specific stances and movements, you actually counteract that, and you kind of either mirror or do the same steps to either guide yourself into the next stance for the next attack or so forth. But this is a leaping pose, so I see this as more like a battle of forces, light versus dark, but they mirror each other, kind of like yin and yang. So when you see it, it's the same movement, but one's like snarky and like, yeah, you ain't got nothing on me, how you gonna be my master kind of thing, and the other one's like, you better stay still so I can slice you up in half. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, like this has presence, and I love the presentation of the side by side. Like, whatever you can do, I can do better. I could do everything better than you, kind of reference here. So if I had the space, I think I would pull the trigger on this. Don't tell Mario if he's watching. you almost got me, but I would get it. I would get it. Definitely.
You'd have to do the lighting like they did here in the picture.
Oh, definitely.
I think that would look sick. Just kind of have that blend of the red and blue bridging, you know.
Well, that makes it stand out.
Yeah, it does.
When you're talking about coming into a room, if you could do something like that, that's where it stands out. Yeah, it would have to be, does it actually fit in to what you're getting? And, you know, Anthony, you brought up a good point. Maybe with some of those 6 scale, you know, Clone Wars figures that Sideshow is doing, you know, could kind of be a centerpiece in that as well. Earth, it fits into what you're doing. But like Lael said, this is just tremendous for season 7 of the Clone Wars. It's nice. I mean, it's so hard with so many of these to not get statues, get this and get that. But I don't know, Will. At some point, there's going to be something that's going to fit in. I would be like, you know what? I'm getting it.
It's going to happen. It could be a JND, Aries. We'll just have to see. But
boy,
Aries, I know you have to run in like 5 minutes, so I want to hit you first on this next topic.
Yeah.
So, and this is we'll probably maybe cover the Sauron helmet if we have time a little bit later, because there's something else I want to get into. this one, because this is something that I think some others kind of hinted at earlier in the show, where we talked about your stance on buying collectibles without emotional attachment, right? Because I think collecting is always a matter of philosophy. Like, some people do it differently, and that's great. We're all different. We're all diverse in our own ways. We all collect in different ways. That's fantastic. One way that I like to collect personally is to have an emotional attachment to that character. Like, if I'm going to get the figure or going to get this, especially a statue where I'm going to spend a lot of money for it, I got to have some sort of emotional investment with that character. Like, something that I can look back on. Like Leia always points out the nostalgia, right? The nostalgia is one of the biggest reasons we collect. It's one of the things that we always strive to feel when we're in collecting, when we're watching a film, whatever, recalling fondly like a memory with a previous film or game or whatever the case is, right? So Aries, how do you approach this with your own collection? Like, do you normally like only buy things you have emotional attachment to, or every now and then do you buy something because it looks good, or maybe you think it might go up in value? How do you approach that?
Well, first let me say that I don't really think that there's any wrong way to do it. And there's certainly, in my opinion, nothing wrong with collecting anything where you don't have an emotional attachment to it, or you just want to collect it because it looks good or it strikes your eye. Certainly I've done that. I think we've all have done that. And then to answer your question with me personally, so I don't think there's no right or wrong answer to it. But for me personally, and one of the ways that I am able to try and keep things under control, if you will, and be able to keep the reins in on where I want to go, is I do want to be able to have some type of connection to the actual piece, that every time that I look at the collection, or every time I go into this collection room, or every time I walk in there or I take a look at it, I have a little bit of a smile on my face. And I recognize, hey, I relate to this. This is part of me. Maybe part of my spirit is resonating with what I'm looking with in there.
Facts.
And when you're going into some of these high-end pieces, if you're talking about like Hot Toys, it becomes a little bit more tricky, right? Because everything they do is real pretty. It's very fancy. It's very artistic. It's really damn good. So it's hard not to pick them all up. And people have asked me all the time, well, what about Star Wars? Didn't you get every Star Wars one? I wish that I could, but there's certain pieces in certain collections that I have more of a, I don't know, my soul kind of goes with more. And right now with Hot Toys, it's really with the head sculpts, although I appreciate all the other things. So I try to focus in on that as much as possible. And also Star Wars just completely, I have an emotional attachment to it, obviously. And it's been a huge part of my life. It's a huge part of my life before my family with my wife and our 3 daughters. I mean, everything about us in our whole house. I could tell you upstairs, we have some Grogu ornaments and stuff next to our regular. It's kind of funny, and it's really, really interesting. It's just a big part of our lives. It was a huge part of my life before I ever even met my wife. And so that resonates with me. The thing that I have to be careful of as well is I would want to get every single piece. We're talking about statues tonight. We're talking about this. We're talking about that. And I'm saying, hey, what lane am I in? Or what lanes am I in? How am I budgeted for this lane? How am I going this lane? What about this lane? Do I have an opportunity to maybe start something here? Is that something where I want to get the whole thing? Is that something that's more decorative? Is this a one-off? And it's stuff that you have to really consider, I really feel, when it comes into collecting. Because I have been collecting for so many years, as I think everybody in here does, I feel like sometimes we have a little bit of a heads up. We've kind of been down the road before. We could kind of check ourselves here and, throw some stops in here. That's why I think it's so important in this community that we have such a large community. And there's so many different channels and whatnot. A lot of collectors could come in and they could kind of listen to a lot of this, kind of get an idea, kind of share of experiences and whatnot. But again, as I started off, I do not think that there's any wrong way to do it, because I know a lot of collectors that don't have an emotional attachment. It just looks good. There's certain things that I collect. Okay. If you ever see my hat collection, I don't have an emotional attachment to the Oakland Athletics. But let me tell you something, baby. I love the elephant with the shades and stuff like that. I will get it because I don't have an emotional attachment. I just want it. But you got to be careful sometimes when you're doing that with some high-end stuff. But that's my thoughts on it.
Okay. Those are really good thoughts, Aries, but I know you do have to run, so I appreciate you joining us, man. Is there anything that you want to tell the people about before you go?
I really appreciate coming on here, Will. It was so great to be on your show again, the Collectors Mingle. I love mingling with everybody here, baby.
Dude, it's always great to have you, so you're welcome anytime, man, of course.
Yeah, and what a great Sunday it's been. It's been a whole lot of hot toys and 6 scale for sure. But thank you so much for having me. And what's going on? Goodness gracious. I have Live and Raw tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 scale Cantina. You absolutely don't want to miss that for sure. I debuted a whole new show today called Morning Coffee with Aries. So after the show, if you didn't get an opportunity to see that, Lael, I know you were in there and you were checking it out. Go ahead and check that out. I covered a lot of crazy stuff going on within the secondary market. Some stuff that's hot, some stuff that's cold. And the whole 6scalecantina.com is completely updated. Go check that out. Go check out the show if you can sometime later tonight or tomorrow. And then I'll be piggybacking off that tomorrow at Live and Raw, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll leave it at that, my man.
Nice. Well, thanks so much for joining us. That all sounds super awesome. I got to go check out that show because I hadn't seen it. So, but that sounds great. But dude, thanks so much for joining, Aries. Everyone check out 6 Scale Cantina. And yeah, man, have a good one. And of course, thanks for all your great insights as always, man.
Well, thanks, Will. Always a pleasure being here. And everybody, stay thirsty, my friends.
See you, bro.
See you, bro.
Take care.
See you, man.
Aries.
All right, guys. Same question to the rest of the panel. Y'all ain't getting out of that this easy. All right. So let's run the layout on this one. Layout. I know, like you said, you're big on nostalgia. That's really the primary reason you collect.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this question? Like, how do you feel about emotional attachment when it comes to figures?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge part of why I collect, because I collect everything within an IP that I love so much. Comics, Star Wars, of course. So everything I collect kind of, evolves around that. And I think that it's just like anything else that you do in your life. Sometimes people get tattoos because they might you have certain people who get tattoos and it's based off of a moment, they might have actually experienced in their lives, whether it's a family member who passed, or maybe it's an art piece that resonates with them, or they're trying to tell a story. Some people just get things because it looks cool, and that's fine as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's no right or wrong way of actually doing it. And I think that's what collecting too is, you find pieces that, look cool. But then it's like one of those things where, is it cool to you because it's something nice that you like and you're like, yeah, I love this piece, I would like to have in my collection? Or are you doing it because the next person is doing it and they said that it's hot? You know what I mean? Like, they said that it's something that you should have. And that's where it gets kind of dangerous. You know what I mean? And that's why I think that even for us, it's our responsibility that if we talk about something that's nice that we like and, we would like to pick up, we have to also be honest and say, look, we're not telling you that you have to. We're just saying it'd be nice, and it probably would be something that's nice in your collection. You know what I mean? That's just be completely honest. If you don't connect well enough with it, I was about to say collect. See, collect.
Collectors Mingle.
If you don't, yeah, exactly. If you don't connect well enough with it, then why would you even waste your time? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense at that point. But again, for me, everything that I have, that's why it was crazy, because last week, I think, was it on, what was it on? Was it on Figure Flex Friday, Lou, where we were like, is there a figure, or was it during a show? I'm not really sure. We was like, is there a figure in your collection that you don't like? I forget which one it was.
It was one of the shows. It was
one of the shows. I forget. One of the many damn shows. But
yeah.
And I had a hard time because everything that I have in here, I connect with. Everything I have a connection to, and I love the pieces. Otherwise, I wouldn't have actually gotten them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We talked about that earlier, Will, Proxima Midnight. I really wanted that piece, bro. We both did.
I love Proxima. I really want one.
And we really wanted it, but this one that dropped was like a no-no. You know what I mean? So I was like, nah, just like it was with when we actually got a Grievous. When you messaged me that morning, it's like, yo, look at these photos.
Oh, the General Grievous from Sideshow.
Yeah. So it was the same thing. Like, but again, I really want it, but not at the sake of getting a piece that I'm not going to connect with because aesthetically it's wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, everything that I have in my collection is because it's something that, you know, I love, I connect well to, you know, I well with, and it just speaks volume for who I am and my identity and who I am as a person and what I've enjoyed over the years. You know what I mean? Things that I've, you know, grown accustomed to, whether it's books, you know, pieces, statues, whatever. That's how it works for me. But if there's individuals out there who don't, you know, really have an emotional connection to pieces, but yet they buy it because they think it looks nice, that's fine. And that's completely fine. As long as you're doing it because it looks nice to you and not because of it's, you know, because of everybody else. You know, so I would say that that's definitely important. And it's something that you want to think about, especially when you're trying to prioritize on a daily basis. Don't get it just because we think it's decent. You know, you get it because you connect with it. So
yeah, that's absolutely fair. So Kiko, Mr. Kiko collects the one we need a head sculpt of, Leo. We need that Kiko head sculpt. Kiko, what do you think about this
Aquaman,
time?
bro?
I know.
Aquaman.
What do you think, Kiko? Like, how do you approach this with your collecting?
It's so difficult because this is a really hot button topic for a lot of people, and we live in a very dangerous age of social media and impressionable people wanting to impress. I tweeted this photo out or put it on Instagram a while back, but I still believe it. It's where's my camera at? There we go. There you go. It says, "Don't go broke trying to prove that you ain't broke to a collector who is broke."
Exactly.
And that is so damn important, is that we really sometimes get things simply to say that you got it. Yep. And I've talked about this before, and I think maybe even on this show, that so many times you jump on Facebook group or Reddit or something, and it's a brand new figure up for sale. Well, why is it up for sale? Why did you get it in the first place? And I think so many times that, you know, God love them, you know, but a lot of reviewers get people so they're doing their job. You know, they get people so hyped to where they say, I need to have it. Then they get it in hand and they're like, why do I have this? Because it's like you just said, it's either an IP you're not attracted to. You got it because you wanted to prove something to somebody, or it's kind of like when all the Razor Crests started shipping, you know, this week, and everyone started saying, oh, I got to have one now. I missed out on it. Same thing with the HasLab Sentinel. You know, everyone will just jump because they have to show that they have it. It doesn't make any sense.
It's true. It's true.
It's very dangerous to live like that, and in anything with life, let alone collecting, is that be you and be who, you know, the good Lord made you to be, and not be anybody else. And sometimes there comes a point, you know, talk about emotional attachment, to where you need to take a step back and say, is this an addiction or is it a hobby? And I've talked about that before, and people's like, well, you know, I could put my money, you know, I could be out putting my money towards drugs and alcohol. Well, yeah, that's an addiction. So
an addiction is an addiction.
It's something that you can't live without, which we were talking and joking about. And this last thing I'll say, we were joking about, you know, during this time, you know, of Chinese New Year, when there was no releases and everyone panics. They're like, oh, I don't have anything. I got to go buy shit. And, you know, and that's a dangerous thing to do too, is thinking because you haven't had something new that you just have to fill your, you know, your collection up with something. That's how you get pieces you don't want, selling pieces you don't need, and ultimately you're not collecting, you're hoarding, and that's not good, and it's not fun to do that. It's like, as I've said before, I want people to come to my collection room and I can tell them why I have this figure. For example, no one's going to be able to take that story of, you know, ultimately when I have my Ecto-1 up here, whether that ends up being Carlos's or, you know, the new one, is that it doesn't matter. No one will ever take that from me, is that was my first memory as a kid. And that should be every piece in your collection to a degree. I mean, obviously there's some things just because they look cool, but that was a long-winded preaching message that I just gave you all, but hopefully that made sense.
But you guys you and Leo both make, and Aries too, make some really good points. Like, this can become addicting. We've all gotten in over our heads before. I think we've all done it. I mean, like, I think we've all gotten to the point where, like, and like Leo, I think, has mentioned too, among others, like during the down period, that's the point where you should not be buying new things, but saving for the things that are coming. Like those, you shouldn't be going into something crazy. But before I jump to you, Anthony, on this one, there's some super chats I got to get to. Superhero Displays. Hail the Knights of Displays case. Display case. Thanks so much, Superhero Displays. I appreciate you, my man. And he also gave another one, Local Lou Miyagi. Am I pronouncing that right? Miyagi?
Miyagi. Yeah, Miyagi, though. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I don't understand that one, but I'll say thank you, Superhero
Martial
Displays.
arts. We was talking about martial arts, so
gotcha.
That's where that comes from.
So Carlos, here's what Carlos said: $10. Carlos, sell Kiko your Ecto, man. Just hook this guy up. Hook this guy up. He's a great guy. For me, I value the exclusivity and resale value of the piece I collect. Yeah, and there are different types of collectors that do this. I don't have an emotional attachment to collectibles. They're just things at the end of the day, but each their own. Yeah. So like that's the thing. Everyone collects for different reasons. Like Carlos is more so looking for exclusivity and rarity and things that might appreciate in value. And if that's the case, you might go for JND, right? You might go for limited edition statues like Queen or something like that. Hot Toys probably wouldn't be your game if that's the thing, right? Because they reissue, there's always a new version. Like, yeah. So if that's your thing, like if you like the chase more, you know what I mean? If you like the chase more, then you should probably go for JND. So Anthony, how do you approach this, man? How do you do this with your collecting?
Well, this is a tough question. Well,
it is. That's what
there's
I'm here
some
for.
simplicity there, though, too. The first and foremost is, you know, as Kiko had just said as well, that like, don't buy shit just to feel like you need to belong somewhere either, because then you're in the wrong game, dude.
Yeah.
Like I agree, it's nice when you can be like, hey, look, check out my figure. Hell, we all do that. We got shows based on that. I mean, you know, so I get that. Like totally get that. But I feel like there's hype out there. And there's hype and then there's fandom. And I feel like we're fandom. There's others that are hype. And you got to know the difference between the two. So don't just buy something just because you feel like, ooh, this is the thing to do. Right? Whether you have an attachment to it or not, even if you love the figure and you can't afford it or something, you know, because this is an expensive hobby, as we all know. So once you start getting into that, you want more, because there is a little bit of an addiction there too. You know, you're chasing the dragon half the time. You know, you get a figure, you're like, wow, that's great. And then, you know, on figure number 19, you're kind of like, okay, that was cool. On the shelf he goes. What's the next one? You know what I mean? And you don't really value that. Can happen. That could seriously happen. For me personally, that's kind of why I've curated over the time that it's mostly Star Wars and Spider-Man. And on the occasion, you know, we can pick, you know, like I kind of want to dabble a little in DC, but I mean, dabble. You got to be clear with that with yourself, you know, that if you want something, you don't need to go all in. At the end of the day, if you get, it really comes down to whatever you want. If you don't have an attachment on it, but you like the figure, get the figure. That's you, man. Nobody's buying the figure but you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So perfect example is I'm Star Wars, and as Aries had said earlier too. I mean, myself, Aries, Leo, like Star Wars is kind of in our blood. So if it's a Star Wars release, it's probably going to be in my display. Now, as you guys know, I haven't watched all of Clone Wars. Perfect example. I don't know really shit about a lot of it, but I pick up the figures, you know, because it's Star Wars. So either way I look at it, I don't have an emotional attachment to them. Even freaking Mando. Mando's a pretty new show. None of us really have that yet, right? I mean, this is all new content, and we're digging it and we enjoy it. There's certain things. I'm with Kiko. Ghostbusters, Ecto-1, hell yeah. I got fond memories, vivid memories. Like, I walk through, I get that. A New Hope, Empire, Jedi, same shit. You know what I mean? So it's hard. Like, you can get things that you don't necessarily have that attachment to, but I feel like it encompasses the greater whole of your collection that you do have an attachment to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of where I stand. If I enjoy it, I'm going to get it regardless. You know what I mean? But there's varying degrees of attachment to collections, if that makes any sense at all.
No, it definitely does. So basically there are levels to it, like anything. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think so. And you need to know the difference between, you know, do I like this or am I getting it because I'm hooked on plastic?
Well, isn't it also kind of like they call me the dating guy? I don't know if that's accurate or not, but isn't that like a good analysis or an allegory to say like dating, right? Where you're dating women, like, yeah, she's physically attractive, but you're not attracted to her spiritually or whatever you want to, emotionally, right?
Yeah.
Like she's beautiful, but then you kind of hang out with her for a while and you're like, yeah, we don't really connect in any other way. I just think she's physically attractive, right? So the same way with these figures, right? Yeah. So like, yeah, like it looks great, but you don't really have that heartfelt attachment to it. And after time, you're going to be like, I'm going to sell it, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to break up with her. You know, same kind of deal. So do you think that makes sense?
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's true. It's true. And we have that happen with our collections. Not all of us. I know, Leo, like you get a figure, you keep a figure. type thing situation.
Leo's very committed. Yeah.
But I've looked over time, and I've just had, like Marvel, for example, I've just been burnt out on MCU, and that is something I do not have an emotional attachment to. I do for the comics, 100%. You best believe when that Iron Man comic book hot toy comes out, I'm getting it, But all these like MCU stuff, that's why you said it before as well. Well, you look around, you're like, oh shit, I still have that. Or you look at it and you're like, oh, I forgot, or I don't really, I'm not giving the attention that I feel that these figures deserve. So somebody else may appreciate this way more than me. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm like, you know what? They're out the door. I'm fine.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
There'll be others to take their place. Yep. Yep. And Lou,
is that how you feel about the Gen 1 Star Trek figures when they come? Just out the door, you don't want them anymore?
Not me, no, because I'm Star Trek for life. But MCU,
no, I was just saying, because if you didn't want them, then
Well, and I told you, Anthony, if they make the JJ trilogy, I'm the only one who's going to want them, but I'd want those, so I'm the only one. But,
yeah, but see, that's a little different. I know Leo knows shit's going to pop off and everything. If you're a Trek fan, you're a Trek fan, and that's how I am. I'm like deep seated, like more probably than Star Wars even. You know what I'm saying? So
I'd be a Kiko fan if I can get him on my show.
He's a hard man to book, man. He really is.
I know.
Just his agent. I had to work through his agent the whole time. So
I know. How much did you pay? Will?
I don't know if I want to say it, man. It was a lot. Like, because I wanted to buy Legolas, but now I can't because I got Kiko for this.
So
show.
I got to do. Should I start stacking now?
Yeah. You can do payment plans. That's what I do.
Payment plans.
No. There's a Groupon, bro. If we all pitch in, we can get Kiko.
Kiko will send you a coupon code.
I tell you what. The easiest way to get me, and that's the thing, is that I don't stay up real late. These are pushing it because I have to wake up so early in the morning. I'm an old man. I may not look like it. But when you get that head sculpt in hand, you will definitely see just how aged it really is. So, it's sharp sculpt. Let's just put it that way.
We're about to wrap up, Kiko, I promise. But Lou, round out this topic for us.
He's lying.
When it comes to emotional attachments to figures and your collectibles, we collect everything. Think about it. We collect old T-shirts. We collect buttons. We collect pins. We collect pens. We collect sneakers.
That's my problem. That's my addiction right there. Sneakers. Sneakers is something totally different, bro.
That's a different animal in itself.
Oh my god.
I got cosplay collections, like
that's my girl.
Of different stuff. You know what I mean? From all different variations of Deadpool and whatnot. But I have different collections from Storm Collectibles, Mezco's, Hot Toys, Super 7, NECA, and SH Figure Arts. And that's scratching the surface. Wow. So my collection runs deep because I had never stopped collecting. Never. I'll take a break period, but that didn't mean I stopped. When I see something I like that rekindles that love again for collecting, I start doing it again. And you really collect whatever you dig, just like Anthony was saying earlier. If you're into it, you're into it. You don't have to be in love with it. You could just like it and just want it for the moment. And if you part ways with it, you part ways with it. This collecting game is not for everybody. You don't have to have every single figure just to say, yeah, one of us. No. You collect what you want. Forget who has it. Or whatever the case.
Run your own race, in other words,
yeah, exactly. Definitely. Like Spider-Man, for instance, my favorite character in Marvel, right? Next to Deadpool, right? Those are my main two, right? Logan's like right there, number 3, and then Hulk and Ghost Rider, all of them. You know what I mean? It goes up those chains, right? So Spider-Man, any iteration of Spider-Man, I love, but I had to go the extra mile to get this bad boy. And this is a little bit more expensive than a hot toy. Not the same quality, but because it's a custom piece and not many people are going to have this piece, I felt I needed it in my collection because I love Spider-Man so much. And I was there reading the comic where I first saw this guy, right? And we had that Tim Burton Dark Knight, kind of vibe combo into there. You know what I mean? It's raining. You got SWAT with him. And here's a perfect example. I got SWAT guys, right? These are like $20 figures. Ain't nothing, right? Do I have an emotional attachment to them? Hell no. There are cannon fodder for the main piece. They're the accessory to the main piece. So do I have an attachment? No. Does it make my main piece look great? Yeah. So you collect in different ways. I collect in the sense what makes my collection pop. Right now, everything's in boxes, and the only time it pops is when I pop them out, baby. But that's going to change when I get my module cases. And when I get my module cases, every time you look into it, it's not going to look like everyone else's. It's going to look way different because I think like a Pablo Picasso, Max Pollock painting, Jack Pollock painting. It's all crazy. It's all kinds of crazy. But when we get there, we'll get there. But for the people who want to know, collect what you want. Forget everybody else. It's not for them. We collect for us. The only reason why you're seeing our collection is because the internet, YouTube, all that. And this is a way for us to bridge that gap that we've had for so long as collectors. You won't know someone's a collector until you see the collector room.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm wrong, Leo?
I'm just messing with you. I'm playing with you, bro.
Yeah, I'll go to the music studio. I ain't gonna see no figures. But as soon as I come out the basement, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you get what I'm saying, right? So
I do.
So everybody who is worried about the emotional attachment to this, that, and the third, listen, collect what you like, buy what you like. It's your hard-earned money, and think about you and what you like first. Forget everybody else. Forget the hype. Forget FOMO. Because everybody has that fear of missing out on something that they don't even really care about. They just don't want the other person to have it. And that's the wrong mindset.
I talked about that last night, Lou.
What was that?
I said, remember I talked about that last night.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You talked about that last night.
FOMO, no mo.
FOMO, no mo. Nice. I like that.
hashtag.
I like that.
And half the time, some people actually collect things just to be the first to review it, bro.
Oh, that
when you do it, when you're doing it, when you're doing it for that particular reason, like it's that's when it's corny to me, bro. It's corny. It just becomes really corny to me because it's like, yo, like, especially if you're doing it, but then I see like a couple weeks later, it's on your I'm sell list. I'm selling this piece, or you're talking about. So what the hell did you? What did you get it for? Like literally, like that's when I know when I know the real from the fake. You know what I mean? If you a diehard collector, like you're collecting because it resonates with you. Now, if you collect even I feel guilty even if I collect two pieces, right? And I decide to sell one. What? Help me, because if I collect two pieces, I'm collecting it because maybe I want it to look differently in another display. That's the way I see things. If I decide to sell it off later, it's because maybe I just realized that I didn't really need to capture that, which only happened once. I've never one time. It doesn't continue to happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's kind of corny when I see that. When people just basically grab stuff just to be the first person to review it and to say that they've reviewed it. And then I hear him say, "Oh, I'm selling it."
Yep.
That's just my opinion, because that's what makes that, to me, is like, what if somebody else wanted that shit for real and you got it, and now you're going to sell it for more money out of that person's price range, and they can't get it, and they really want it, and they weren't even a reviewer. They just wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
They just wanted that piece because they just it was something that was, they connected well with it. They wanted it in the display, like literally. So that's, to me, is where it's kind of super corny, bro. It's like Capricorn balls when people do that.
So, okay, guys, yeah, great conversation on these topics for
you
sure.
gotta stop coming with this hot shit, bro.
I know, bro.
Stop doing it. You do
Trust
this
me,
shit every week, bro. I'm not coming on next week.
I got way more hot shit in here
bro.
in this panel, but we're gonna end it. But like, there's gonna be more hot shit next week. Luminara, thanks so much, Luminara. I appreciate you so much. Someone make a Figure Hoarders parody, please. Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. That needs to be done.
There's lots of subject material on that one.
Yes.
Yo.
It would be a lot of fun because we all have a lot of boxes, I'm sure.
Yo. Loco Lou.
Boxes? Should I flex on the boxes?
If you want to show us your boxes real quick. Oh, my God, Lou.
And I got the other side, too, and I got the garage.
Damn.
So when I get my module cases, you guys going to be like this.
Exactly, bro. Charlie, you said flaming hot. Yeah, they'll be flaming hot next week for sure.
Cheetos, flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah, bro.
Flaming hot Cheetos, baby.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, you guys get it. All right, so we're gonna go around the panel real quick as we wrap this up. So Kiko, thanks so much for joining, man. I know you're really not that old, and next year I'm rooting for the Bengals. They almost had it, bro. Like, I don't mean to bring up that
Ghostbusters in the theater, so
Yeah.
right. It's all good, bro.
Thank you, Will. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm done. I'm saying the Bengals, they're going to be good for the next several years, so you'll be fine.
Well, we didn't come up short. We were robbed, and we've talked about that before. And
that's true.
That's not the purpose of this podcast, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. But, so I'm going to look at the camera again and let you know that, Lael, I'm coming for you. Okay? Yes. I'm coming to your podcast channel once I get back from vacation, because right after this, I'm going to. We've had our anniversary trip booked for like 3 years, and we think we're finally going to go this time, as long as we pass our COVID tests on Friday.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Nice.
So once we get back, I'm coming for you, my friend.
And you know what? And we'll do a Sunday early show. How about that?
Yes.
We'll do a Sunday early show.
See, I'm all for that. See, that's how you get me, my man.
We'll do an early show. Yeah, I got you.
Cool. I'll hit you up once I get back. But
that's what's up.
Will, it's an honor, obviously, being here with all you guys. It's so much fun, and that's one of the things I love about this community is just being able to chat and dick around and just have a good time. And we have a really, really good community. Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for listening to my ass, just rant about stupid stuff. And for all you guys that let me come on your shows, I appreciate that. And as I said, I am old and I do wake up early in the morning, so I do apologize. I am a little bit restrictive on that, but in order to fund these collections,
you just get your sleep. That's
gotta make the bread, man.
Gotta make the bread. And we got to fund. We got to be able to fund this somehow. And so if I'm not the best version of myself that I can bring, what am I doing it for? But yeah, man, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to being able to get away for a little bit and then come back super refreshed, for the YouTube channel, Instagram, and obviously all y'all's channels as well and streams. Nice. So we're gonna have a lot of fun, man. But thanks for letting me be here tonight.
Of course, man. Thanks as always for joining. Loco Lou, what's going on with you, man? YouTube and Instagram. What's going on with you, man?
Man, YouTube, you're gonna see this guy up tomorrow morning.
Oh,
I finally finished.
Okay.
So tomorrow morning, I do the little finishing touches today, and you'll see me on, Geeking Out. You see me with Lael on Figure Flex Friday. Lael, we may have to move a Figure Flex Friday to a Sunday Flex special for Kiko. So Kiko can be up in there flexing. You get what I'm saying? Sunday.
Yo, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. So when he comes back, we'll do that. We'll do a Sunday special flex with Kiko. How about that?
That is love, and that is that is a true collection family.
Collectibles are mingling tonight.
Yeah,
let's do that.
How are we gonna mingle it up? So
let's do that. Let's do that. Good idea. We with it. We gonna do that.
I'm with it. So
Scale Mafia can't come though. But yeah, I'm just messing. Oh yeah, I was supposed to tell you though, Kiko too. I was supposed to tell you from Luminar. I mean not Kiko, Loco. I was supposed to tell you that you're not allowed to flex more than 5 times. Okay, cool.
I saw 5 because I had asked her in the chat and she said
5.
Oh, 5 flexes, and that means photos and figures. She said both. So I'm like, okay, respect. Because
I'm saying,
as a fat man, you don't see the flex, but I could flex in different ways. So here's the other ways of flexing. So I'll just pull something out of my hat.
mean, technically it is our show, so you can. But I understand what she means. She did come up with the idea.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So we gotta be understanding.
Yeah, for real. But I inspired to be inspired, and that's why I love flexing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was fun. It's so much fun. We got to get Will back on the show to flex.
I know, man.
Oh, yeah,
we got to get
Will. Flex some stuff.
Yeah, we got to get back on the show.
Baby.
Mafia acts too timid, bro. I don't understand. Why does he do that, bro? Like he acts super timid. Like he doesn't
want to flex on, bro. He's
like why?
Like flex the guns all the time.
Why does he do that, bro?
You got a pizza waiting for him. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
I actually do. No, I'm feeling like shit tonight, guys. I really am.
I know, man. You're a true warrior sticking.
I ate some bad food earlier, and I'm paying the price. But nah, man, I'm always down to do stuff, man. As long as I'm.
Moms, milk of magnesia.
Yeah.
Oh, that could work.
Yeah.
That could work.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Or you can get the pink one.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining, Lou and Leo. What's going on with you, man?
Oh man, tomorrow's comic book talk with friends. So yes, we will be diving into the Batman. The topic of the show is detective or vigilante.
Ooh.
So that's going to be a hard. We're
That's
diving into that. We're diving into like the comic version. You know what we know from the comic books and what we expect out of this film. So that'd be interesting to see. Wednesday, of course, is figure talk. You know, basically, what is it? Say what? We do that. You know, pretty much on Wednesdays. Will, you said you'll be late.
Yep, because Batman. But I'll bring my insights from the film.
So basically, it's going to be. I can't wait, and you'll let me know whether or not you'll want a figure on the show. So just be,
for sure.
Everybody out there who's watching the show will know from Will whether or not it's valid.
Hopefully, it should be, because the movie starts at 7, and then there's like 20 minutes of trailers. A 3-hour movie, so I'll be there I'll be there in time, like 10:30, 10:45.
Yeah, you should be there. You'll be
I'll
cool.
be fine,
We'll be riding with you. Thursday will not be Uncivilized Scoundrels because, like I said, I'm going to see Batman Thursday, so with the crew, so that's not going to happen. But we will have Figure Flex Friday, so stay tuned for that. 7 o'clock. Me, Loco Lou, and whoever else wants to actually join in. Maybe Timid Mafia. You know, he has to get made. I don't know, but yeah, like literally, we're going to have some people on there, and it's going to be fun. Then on Sunday, of course, we have. I'll be back here on Will's show, of course. We have Take Your Position. I don't know what we'll be posing up next week, but Robert Meyer Burnett, he'll be moderating that show, so it'd be exciting. So yeah, that's all that's going on. If you haven't already subscribed to the 16 Scale Man YouTube page, make sure you do so. I'll have my Take Your Position companion video up with the double pack Book of Boba, as always, and as well as my what I call my Black Gold Squad video, which is consisting of Killmonger, the black and gold suit Spider-Man, and Hawkeye. So stay tuned for that.
Hell yeah, dude. That sounds great.
That's gonna be cool.
Anthony, man, you're a true trooper. Thanks for joining, man, and sticking out the show. Let us know what's coming up on 6 Scale Mafia, man.
Well, thank you for having me, of course.
Dude, always.
First and foremost. Yeah, no, I just, I just haven't been feeling good today, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm here, and it's fun, and I'm having a great time. But, yeah, I mean, dude, what's not coming up, dude? Just come check it out if you haven't already. I suspect everybody here, has already subscribed, but main streams on Saturday. Got the Spotlight Hour interviews. I've already Will's been on, Lael's been on. That's awesome. You guys come check it out, get to learn and get to know more.
One of the best shows I've seen. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, thank you very much on that. Kiko is, again, we got to get a group on. He's been trying to get on. So Kiko will be coming as well.
Correct.
Soon.
This is correct.
It's definitely fun. It's insightful. You learn some things about people and some other things you may not know. So it's awesome. I love it. It's to get to know you. It's really cool because a lot of times we're on panels and we're having fun and we're talking figures and whatevers. But some people don't really know the person behind the camera. And that's my goal, without getting too intrusive, obviously. Whatever you talk about. That's what you talk about. I'm not going to ask, like what color underwear you're wearing or weird shit like that. If I do, it'll be on Patreon. So,
yeah, that's the OnlyFans.
I just got to say this about Ant. Anthony's going to be, and he is, in my eyes already, with what he's produced, is the 1/6 scale Joe Rogan on YouTube. And that's what I'm putting it out there right now, first and foremost. He's the Joe Rogan in this 1/6 scale community right now. So if you haven't watched, you have to watch.
Well, thank you, Lou. I do appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun. I got that going. I got my morning, solo show that I do on the weekdays now. That's been a pretty good hit. I just talk about whatever. I just talk with the chat. We figure it out. We kind of wing it. Hot toys, movies, music, comics, shows, whatever. That's fun. And I know I'm missing something. Opposing review Saturday mornings with Mario, El Profesoro. We actually didn't do it this weekend because it was just kind of scheduling and everything and a lot of stuff going on this weekend. So next weekend we'll be hitting that. And yeah, I think that's there's probably more, whatever. If you guys know, come check it out. Those who haven't, those who do, love everybody out there who's showing their love and support, and make sure to subscribe to everybody here on this panel. And that'll do it for me, bro.
Thanks, man. Well, thanks to everyone, this amazing panel for joining tonight, and for Aries, who had to dip out a little bit early, but the amazing Hot Toys Wizard himself. Thanks so much for joining, to everybody. So for me coming up, I'll have my show every Friday. I'm not sure who's going to be on this Friday, so I might be reaching out to a few, see who I can get on there. It's always a one-on-one, but it'll be Lights, Camera, Collect. Be talking about some big, hot, spicy topics. So if anyone wants to join that one, let me know. It'll be a one-on-one. It'll be like Anthony's, but different. It's not going to be like learning more about you, like, because I'll leave that to Anthony. It's going to be like, hey, let's hit some spicy topics and have a one-on-one combo about it. So that's gonna be really fun.
Well, count me in on one of those.
All right, dude, absolutely, man.
Same. I love being edgy and controversial. So
Nice.
I
want to do that too.
Controversial.
You all are in your own way, and that's why you're here. And
I gotta
Luminar,
hold a lot back, man.
thanks so much to Luminar. You guys are great. Thanks so much, Luminar. And we had some other nice comments too as well. Just saying, good stuff. Best Arcade. Have a good night, everyone. Yeah, sorry if I don't get to everyone's comments. It's so tough for this moderating game sometime. But that'll be on Apple and Spotify eventually. Trying to get this logo finalized. Once it's done, it'll be on there. So we'll get that sorted. Yeah, that'll be next Friday. We're probably going to do it like 9:30 or 10 Eastern at start. We're not sure because I don't want to overlap too much with Dante's. I'm trying to avoid that. And it starts at 8:30 every Friday. So we'll figure out a way. But nonetheless, guys, that's pretty much it for me for now. All I can say is thank you to this amazing panel for always making me look good. And yeah, peace out. All I can say is
we'll be gaming. Call us all ugly?
No, I said you guys make me look good because you talk great things. You put words together nicely. This motherfucker. Let's end the show because I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Peace out.